makes me want to call him
and tell him where to go.
And now let's get things started. Andrew, let's get things started. It's time to get things started.
On the most sensational, inspirational, celebrational, Keelerational. This is what we call the Keeler Show.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Well. Good morning. So this is kind of enjoyable. This is where my mother will say, you know, this is how we get sick. This is how we get sick. The temperature is going to go up to 45 degrees this weekend, and then we'll be down into single digits. This is how we get sick. I don't know if that's true or not, but
I think Dr. Hall threw some shade on that idea.
I think he kind of did.
He doesn't talk bad about mothers.
He does not want to, I don't think he wants to diss my mom by any means. But
looking for Davey.
Davey, you can move up,
Davey's
please.
in the corner.
Davey, sit up there and pull a mic over there. So I gotta. But first of all, I think that even in the last, when we had mild winters, we still usually get 1 or 2 deep freeze. And we're about to get one of those where temperatures just kind of barely get out of single digits. Yep. And that's coming over I think that'll start on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday is where it's going to get a little bit on the cold side. We'll speak with Ken Boone from the Weather Channel on what he's predicting. Of course, you know, it's awesome. It's a traditional winter, and the Farmer's Almanac this year is actually pretty accurate.
Blind squirrel found the nut. I mean, come on. Really.
A clock is right at least how many times a day?
Twice a day. I wonder, I'd be interested to know our snow.
Don't go far, Davey, because we have something really big to break on you.
Snowfall totals. I wonder, are we on track for what would be considered a normal winter?
I think, it's interesting. Not necessarily. It depends on where you are.
Oh, I think up north.
Up north they are. The valley, I was speaking to people in the valley and my parents, and they say they can see the grass.
Wow.
And, traditionally they get a pretty good chunk of snow.
Davy's got a ton, though.
Davy has been hit pretty hard where he's at in Lafayetteville.
No, Floyd.
Floyd? Oh, I knew it was a name.
Lafayetteville. Where the heck is that?
Well, it's up near Floyd.
No.
Where Floyd the barber works.
That's right.
Stittville and Holland Patton are next to Floyd.
Well, Holland Patton, I think Holland Patton has gotten more than you.
Yes.
Along with Lafayetteville.
Yes.
And then as you go further north, it's an old-fashioned winter. There's no doubt up there. They're getting hit hard.
Well, my sister lives near Holland Patton, which is near Westernville. They got hit with 76 inches the last
time. But then this time around, there's even more lake effect snow that was coming in, which we really didn't see much of down as you get towards the canal and all that. Although Rome has probably gotten more than we have. Oh, yeah. Interestingly, here in Marcy, probably a couple feet of snow in total so far. So I'd say that is doing pretty well.
Yeah, it's all near the front door.
Right. It's all come off the roof. You can't park near the building because you'll go out and all of a sudden your vehicle will be covered.
Well, I think the snow's off most of the building.
I parked near the building. I think our expert plow technician has done a great job of giving us a bit of a buffer.
Yes.
Okay, I have a bunch to get to. The sheriff in Onondaga County has responded. There's also in the Rome Sentinel more of an in-depth response, and we'll talk about that coming up in a second. Here we are in this would be the conference semifinals. Is that where we're at? What is this the weekend called?
Divisional round,
sorry.
Next week's the conference championship.
Being a Bills fan, I really haven't paid attention to this. Yeah.
There's 3 big Bills fans in here, and you don't know anything about divisional round?
All right there, Lafayetteville. Be careful.
Uh-oh. I think he's going to change those rules.
Sorry.
Yeah, all of a sudden the rules could be changing here on you.
No.
I'm just saying there, smarty pants.
Sorry, I'm only busting.
Here we are in a very, very important week, and we're down to 4 games. And the Bills are in a big one. This is a biggie. Davey, it's the Pick'em contest we've been doing all year long. Currently, you are well into the lead. And the master rule authoritator, dictator, authoritator, whatever you want to call her, who's driven through Lafayetteville, Megan is on the other side there. Good morning, Megan. And
Good morning.
What happens in the rules? You're saying these have been the rules since the very beginning. Davey just doesn't realize it because, Davey, did you read the rules? No. He did not. What are the rules going into this weekend?
Well, we need to have a complete agreement and consensus on this first because when I first brought it up...
Just stick with me. What are the rules? What are the rules?
Oh, strong arm me. Okay, Bill.
Yeah.
All right. The rules is, I figured to make things interesting and spice things up is this weekend is double points.
Double points this weekend.
So if you get a game right, you get 2 points instead of 1.
You still have the problem, though, with Davey, although you're only looking at 4 games. So you're only looking at 8 points, Davey. You still would be in the lead. But I think that's, she's saying those are the rules.
Yeah, it's funny.
Written in September.
Everybody that's not in first place, I suspect, would
was
like
all
this
for, is
rule
all for
change,
it.
and
Yeah.
the person that's in first place.
I think right now Davey is doing math that how many games he needs to win to secure his
Are
lead.
you doing your math?
No, I'm trying to figure something else out.
Okay. Well,
How to hire a hitman. I know, Davey. I'm sorry.
All right,
I'll
so-
go meet my maker now.
so double points this week. And, Davey, how do you feel about that?
I don't like it. I expressed my opinion to Megan yesterday afternoon when I saw the sheet. It's not fair.
Did she explain to you that these are the rules that she
well,
had back in...
we should have came up with it in the beginning of the contest.
We did. She had these. They just haven't come into play yet.
No,
She wrote
no.
these rules in July, if you remember.
No.
I'm pretty sure, back in
No.
June.
How about we flip a coin and leave it up to God and gravity? Tails, yes,
no,
we do it.
not fair because Andrew would have to be in on this to agree to it. All
Believe
three
me,
of us
believe
when
me,
we did this contest.
Hold on, let me check with Andrew. Andrew, you okay with this? Yep, okay.
Yes, I am, Bill.
Yeah, he seems good with it. All
I'm
right, well,
really excited.
We'll talk more about this coming up here. Do you want to? Maybe what you ought to do is present the actual rules that you wrote up back in May for this contest.
If you remember, the actual rules were first place got to pick an outfit for third place winner, and also
well, we nixed that crap very early.
Hey, we have somebody calling in. It could be someone who's weighing in on sports.
All right,
I'll be right back.
Why don't you handle that? That'd be really nice. Yeah, Davey, I got to tell you, she wrote these rules back in March.
Well, Davey.
No, she didn't. We
Yeah,
didn't.
she did.
We
No.
didn't. It's not fair. We didn't agree to this rule.
She it is March 15th, Ides of March.
Davey, you know what? They're going to have to, if they want to go after you, they're going to have to choose
The
outside.
opposite.
So you're going to make them have to choose the Ravens.
It would have to be the opposite of right. It would have to be the opposite of what you picked. The only way anybody would have a chance
They'll have
to
to
win.
choose. They'll have to choose
Once again,
the Texans.
Larry would have to pick the opposite of you in order to even get a shot in here. How far is Larry ahead? You behind? How far is he
Who's
behind?
the closest to you?
The closest to me are
Larry.
Was Larry. Just Jake and Wayne are in second. Larry's in third.
How far is Jake and Wayne? Are Jake and Wayne behind?
I'm at 54. They're at 45. So
Oh, okay. Well, these rules written back in February, I think, would be.
you keep on changing the months.
I don't think I do.
Were they written in 2023 for this
twenty-
contest?
During
Feb-
COVID.
You said February.
How about this? I got
February,
an idea.
Ides of February. I'm pretty sure I said that.
So John from Bridgewater is on the line right now to defend Davey. But how about this? You know, Davey could still win the $200, but there also can be a vote that you can double the prize if you choose to go double points through the Super Bowl. And maybe the Super Bowl is just double or nothing.
Like a double or nothing type thing. No, Davey doesn't want that. He
You
wants to
would
follow.
still get the $200. You just have an opportunity to get $400.
Well, double or nothing would mean he'd have the chance to lose all of it. Here's John in Bridgewater here to agree with us. Hello, John. Good morning.
Hey, Bill, you guys are cheating.
What? What?
You guys are cheating, man.
Are you
Davey
kidding
should
me?
be allowed to win. If you guys made the agreement back in whenever you said, which is bull, you guys all should have signed it and dated it.
Well, none of
no
us
agreement.
signed. None of us signed the rules. Listen, none of us signed the rules. The Davy claims are the rules either.
Davey's right. There was no rules. You guys should have made an agreement.
I don't know.
Davey's gonna win.
Megan swears that she wrote the rules.
That's why Davey was on the
Well,
phone.
you
He's
know
calling
what?
all his fan clubs.
Yeah.
to
Johnny,
call
we
in.
do here.
Davey doesn't want to argue with Megan. He don't want to get on the bad side of her.
No, he doesn't.
No.
No.
But Johnny,
Why?
let me tell you,
Why?
the rules actually changed from when Bill and Andrew were handed the contest. The original was it was just going to be the three of them, Bill, Andrew, and Davey, and the strategy was first place.
I can't even get her to go along here. Yeah, keep going. Keep going.
Hey, I'm just telling you what the original contest was. I'm absolving myself of sins right here. So
Oh,
the first
good,
place
good.
winner would pick an outfit for the third place loser to wear to a restaurant or bar. The second place winner
I'm not in fifth
would
grade
have
anymore. I'm sorry. I'm not doing that.
Well, Megan, thank you. Davey, you have a great day and stick to your guns, dude.
John,
Thank you, John.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
once again for agreeing with us. Thank you.
You guys are sore losers.
Yeah,
Bye.
thank you. All right. Well, listen, I got to tell you, I ain't no sore loser. Even with double or nothing, I can't win.
Yep.
So it does nothing for me. All right, well,
We have Jake on the line.
I think Jake believes he remembers Megan talking about this back in January. I'm pretty... right, Jake? Remember that?
No, don't make me laugh. No, Davey won.
We know that. We know that. Here's the problem. Here's the problem with Davey. Davey might have a side deal with someone here in the building. Dun, 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 dun. Like maybe somebody had helped him out, and there may be a previous. Davey, get right up to that microphone. Maybe there's someone that, while you may win, it may erase a debt more than putting.
No, I talked to that person.
You worked it out
yes,
with them?
Yes.
So you're going to give half of it to them?
No, I took care of the. I took
You're
care
going
of
to
it.
so you're going to pay it all.
Yeah, I took care of it.
Okay, good.
We,
All right.
we discussed it.
Well,
All right. See,
Bill,
these little things, Jake, that I learn as we go along the way, just to complicate things and throw them out there. I just love it. Ears are so important.
We can change it next time.
All right,
You know?
maybe we will. Yeah, maybe we will.
Can I give you my picks now?
I guess you can, Davey. Is this my sheet?
We got to get to Tanya.
I do have Tanya on the line right now. Jake, can you call us back like in 20 minutes?
Sounds good.
All right, thank you, man. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
And our apologies. My apologies. But when Tanya calls, we listen.
You listen.
Tanya J. Powers on the line right now. Tanya, good morning.
Please tell Jake I'm so sorry for horning in on his airtime. I do apologize for that. That is bad timing on my part.
No worries at all. Boy, this is we're in the midst of quite a very amazing time in American history. Right now, there's a new Fox News poll on Trump and their team and favorability ratings. Where will Trump start things off coming up here in 2025, Tanya?
Well, he begins, according to our latest Fox poll, with his highest favorable rating. Excuse me. 52% of those polled approve of his handling of the transition.
Wow.
46% disapprove. That is a reversal from 2017 when he was, about to take office then, the first time. The latest Fox News poll, which came out yesterday, finds that by a 13-point margin, more voters view his victory as a referendum on President Biden and Vice President Harris's policies and performance than a validation of Trump's. That means, I guess, they were more unhappy with the Biden administration than they were excited about the Trump administration to take over again.
That's interesting.
Either way,
yeah,
it doesn't matter. He's still the guy that's going to be back in office. Like I said, the 52% is the number of the folks approving of his handling of the transition. He describes his 2024 win as a mandate. There's a lot of stuff in this poll.
Yeah.
I mean, a whole lot of stuff. Matter of fact, as usual, I will tell you on the front end, go to foxnews.com, check under the polling tab. You're going to see a couple of different articles that really break down. There's charts, there's graphs, there's all kinds of stuff to explain what's in this poll. We also, Dana Blanton, our polling director, is very good with what she does here. And she always manages to put in our stories, there's always a link to where you can actually see the data. You can see how these questions were phrased. You can see how they were asked. They're very good at transparency. There's also a Republican and a Democrat on our polling staff that takes care of putting out these polls in the field and crunching the numbers. So I always encourage people to go beyond the headlines
and dig in,
and see exactly what's going on.
Tim, who's in here this morning for Andrew, has a question.
Hey, Tanya, 52%, that almost sounds like probably the highest he's ever had, because, I mean, when he came in the first time, he was fighting from the beginning. So this almost seems like the highest number from his previous 4 years.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure it is. I don't have all the numbers directly in front of me of each year, but I can, if I remember correctly, he never got out of a 40.
No, exactly.
Well, actually, his approval rating was 95%, according to him. And I don't know if you
silent majority.
I think for the most part, he never got out of I don't even know if it was the mid 40s, his first term in office. So the fact that it's 52 coming in, and again, this is not a poll of Fox viewers. This is a poll that they put in the field. This is a legitimate scientific poll. This is not just a, hey, go online and vote kind of thing. They, made phone calls and did all the stuff you're supposed to do when you run a legit poll.
Well, and I'll say that is one of the problems with polling today is you really have to look at the validity and the accuracy of the poll you're dealing with, because without landlines today, it has become so much more difficult. You really have to sink a lot of money into a poll to get something that you can walk away and say it's accurate. It sounds like that's what was done here.
And think about the amount of people, like you said, we don't have landlines. So think about the number of us who get unknown calls on our cell phones. How many of them do we actually answer?
Right. Yep. And actually, I have my phone set up where it automatically just sends them to voicemail. I don't even get a chance to answer it. So, all right, very interesting stuff. And of course, last night the former president, well, he's not former yet, President Biden, giving his his state of his union as he's heading out, I guess you could call it. And that speech televised last night, and then Monday, of course, is the inauguration at 12 noon. So big stuff. All right, Tanya, we appreciate the update. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Tanya J. Powers from Fox News Radio. I'm going to do a quick break and come back. We're going to do an update on the news, and Ken Boone, meteorologist from the Weather Channel, comes up in just a second. We'll figure out what we're going to warm up, and then we're going to get really, really cold. And we'll get details on that coming right up. And then a whole bunch of news. I want to just, we'll go lightning round, because there's a bunch of stuff out there right now coming up.
Nation and the fight for life go hand in hand, especially so when we see how abortion took center stage in the most recent election. Preborn has rescued over 300,000 babies by welcoming mothers with unplanned pregnancies and introducing them to their baby on ultrasound. Once she sees her baby and hears their heartbeat, her baby's chance at life doubles. Meet Deanna.
I'm at the doctor and they do a bedside sonogram. As I'm looking at the sonogram, the baby waves, and I looked. And that man said, I said, did that thing just wave at me?
Deanna knew that life was the only choice.
12 years ago, I prayed for this little boy. And to think about if I would have taken that abortion pill. So God saved him. Not only did he save him, he saved me in a different type of way.
Your tax-deductible donation of $28 sponsors one ultrasound. Please donate today. Just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/BUCK. Sponsored by Preborn.
WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. It is 6:35 and currently 15 degrees in Marcy. We will warm up a little bit, and your full weather forecast will be coming up with Ken Boone, who will call in later today from the Weather Channel. Bail has been set at $50,000 for the suspect accused of opening fire near Newburgh Free Academy. Prosecutors say a former student, 18-year-old Kevin Gaspar, is the person who shot toward a crowd of teenagers on Tuesday. Gaspar's attorney claims their client was assaulted by several people before the incident. No one was struck by the gunfire, and Gaspar pleaded not guilty yesterday to multiple crimes. He's due back in court again tomorrow. Iowa State Senator Michael Bousselot is proposing to purchase several Minnesota counties. He announced yesterday that he'll introduce a bill to buy the lower 9 counties in Minnesota. Bousselot says the new residents can expect low taxes and a farm-friendly state. He also posted to X stating making Minnesota Iowa again, and adding Governor Tim Walz may say Iowa is just rocks and cows, but they see the opportunity. President-elect Trump is reportedly considering an executive order that would save TikTok from a ban or sale. The Washington Post reports the order would suspend enforcement of the TikTok ban or sale law for 60 to 90 days. Its aim is to buy the Trump administration some time to work out a sale or some other solution. The Chinese-owned app is scheduled to be banned in the United States on Sunday. Members of Congress have also introduced a bill to extend the deadline on the ban of the social media app. And also in retaliation, a lot of TikTok users from America are now jumping ship onto the Chinese version of TikTok called Red Note, which is owned by the Chinese Communist Party. The Food and Drug Administration is hoping to limit nicotine levels in cigarettes and other tobacco products. The agency says a proposed rule could make tobacco products less addictive and easier to quit. The United States would be the first country to implement a limit if the rule is finalized. The FDA's commissioner said in a statement that the move could save money, lives, and dramatically reduce the burden of severe illnesses and disability while also saving lives. WIBX 950 AM news time is 6:37, still 15 degrees. Here's your full weather forecast.
Mostly cloudy, cold out there today. Scattered snow showers possible later on this afternoon into this evening. Highs mid-20s. Down around or below 20 tonight. Cloudy, cold Friday with a chance of snow showers. Afternoon highs low 30s. Rain, snow mix possible Saturday. Highs upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, we're going to talk to Ken Boone coming up in a second based on the cold weather that's about to hit. So you're going to get this weekend will be nice, though. There'll be some melting going on this weekend. You can get out and walk, wash your car.
Yeah.
Really,
play with the dog.
Good luck washing your car because there'll be a long line at the car wash. But then,
what's your favorite car wash, Bill? I want to know because
then,
your car looks amazing all the time.
I put my wife out there. She's good.
Yeah, she's
She is
obviously asleep at this moment.
She's good. Yeah. I mean, she scrubs. She really scrubs it down. Let me break here, and we'll come right back with Ken Boone on WIBX.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music, and whether it's your home or business, you have a lot invested. In the past, a camera surveillance system was an expensive luxury. Big Apple has now made it affordable. Big Apple is the area's leader when it comes to camera surveillance systems, having installed hundreds locally in homes and businesses. Big Apple is New York State licensed for security and camera surveillance, with most of our products sourced from American companies. Featuring Starlight Night Vision, our cameras dollar for dollar have the best night vision available. A camera surveillance system can offer full property coverage. It prevents and reduces crime, monitors high-risk areas like parking lots and showrooms, and Big Apple has a fully set-up showroom to give you real-time, realistic demonstrations of just how great a camera system can be for you. Stop in and see for yourself at Big Apple Music in New Hartford.
New year, new job? Warner Sales and Service is looking for a mechanic, someone with mechanical abilities interested in working on small engines, new equipment setup, and some basic diesel and hydraulic repairs. You'd be working on the complete line of Bobcat construction equipment and Hustler turf equipment. Applicants must have 1 to 2 years experience or training in engine mechanics, have strong diagnostic abilities, and be able to follow troubleshooting procedure and service manual instructions. Apply today at their office just off Route 365 between Rome and Verona, or online at warnerss.com.
Hey, if you have ugly, yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me, with no commitment. Come see us, and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Here we go, Davey. And then along came double point. Yeah. All right. Let me go to Ken Boone, meteorologist with the Weather Channel. Ken, good morning. Good morning.
Good
Thanks
morning.
so much for coming on. Listen, I'm just going to let it out here right now. I am really not approving of your forecasting. It's too cold.
Yeah.
There's too much snow. What happened to the days of global warming when things were nice and warm? I remember 60-degree days in February and January. Where is it, Ken?
As soon as you brought Ken in, everything went
Yep,
to
as
hell.
soon as we brought you guys back, boom, look at this.
No, I understand. I understand.
However, I got to say, for snowmobilers and skiers and all of that, this at least there's a place. We have what we have here, but at least there's a place to go. Did I send her the wrong sheet? No, I just didn't change the date. That's good. Ken, at least there's a place to go now. We have some snow out there.
Well, that is true. There is some snow out there. We might see a little bit more here as we head over the next couple of days out ahead of that cold front that's going to really bring that cold air, like you mentioned, in as we look towards the early part of next week.
Yeah. This will be the weekend where things warm up, and I will not be able to put my wife off when it comes to her direct order to get out there and scrape down the driveway, because you're gonna have warmer weather. And Ken, once this turns really cold, you're gonna have ice that you're not gonna be able to get rid of.
Yeah, that is certainly a possibility because temperatures are going to definitely get above freezing on Friday and definitely on Saturday, as I think the high Saturday afternoon will be into the upper 30s. So we will definitely see some melting of that snow out there. And you're right, very cold temperatures headed our way, and it's going to come in quickly Sunday as we actually might see the temperature fall during the day Sunday. So the high on Sunday is only going to be in the low to mid 20s, but that will occur in the morning. We could be in the teens by Sunday afternoon, and high temperatures are expected to be in the mid-teens at best through Wednesday of next week.
Yeah,
That's going to be nice for the Bills game.
I never thought about that. How will that affect? Will the temperature be dropping in Buffalo during the day?
Yeah, definitely will be turning colder there too.
Yeah.
Like I said, the cold air comes in behind that front, so we will see temperatures drop in western New York as well.
Yeah, they'll probably drop a little quicker than a little earlier than we end up doing. What are your thoughts on? I mean, it seems like we get into these patterns. We see them in the summertime when you get a pattern of really nice sunny weather, or you get into a rainy spell. But we, since the holiday, seem to have gotten ourselves into a pattern where it's more of a traditional winter, at least with temperatures here. And then, of course, there's that lake effect snow. Take that pattern, if you will, and I know it's hard for any meteorologist to say, well, I know what's going to happen in February. But do you see any end in sight to this type of winter weather?
Yeah, well, all the models are, as we get into February and March, the models are trending warmer. So we've certainly started off the year colder, and temperatures have been at or really below average most of the month. And that'll be the case as we head into the end of the month. In that last week of January, while it won't be as cold the last week of January as it will be next week, still going to be below average, a little bit below average. But the trend for the models and everything is for temperatures to trend to above average as we get into the month of February.
And then I'm assuming you're, depending on who you're talking to, you're covering the entire country. These wildfires have just been so horrible in Southern California, and it looks like there's more chance of those high winds coming through, Santa Ana winds coming through again.
Yeah, next week. So they're trailing off today. It's really just the highest elevations that are still seeing some breezy to windy conditions today, but the winds are going to become more onshore there in Southern California as we head through the end of the week here and into the weekend. That's going to raise humidity. So no rain in the forecast, but we're certainly going to see the humidity increase with that onshore flow, but that will change early next week. So there's the potential that we could see maybe another Santa Ana event early part of next week, Monday, Tuesday.
And they've already been through so much. Am I correct in saying, I think I read that I thought it was 30%, but they're at I believe, 10% of their normal rainfall since October?
I don't know that off the top of my head, to be honest with you. But I do know that it's down.
Yeah, it's down. And it's dry. It's very, very dry.
Yes.
So, all right. And then in Guatemala, could you, sorry, I'm hitting you with all this stuff that we didn't tell you we were going to talk about, so I apologize.
No, that's okay.
But
that's okay.
I really am just kidding about the Guatemala thing. So it's going to get cold. I think that's what people need to realize by the end of the weekend. Things are going to get chilly.
It is going to get cold. Temperatures, we might actually see a couple of nights where temperatures will get below zero, but I think that wind chill definitely will get below zero. So definitely very cold early next week.
All right, Ken, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much for calling in.
Sure. Have a good day.
You do the same. Ken Boone with the Weather Channel. And Megan, I don't think he's quite used to us yet, but we're gonna get him there.
We'll get him.
You grow on.
I do. I try to grow on people. I try.
Like mold.
I try. I mean, how do you think I ended up getting married? You eventually, you wear them down. They're like, all right.
And then they're cleaning your car every day.
That's right. Well, not every day, but, as long as it's done properly. Eagles fan, this Eagles fan, did you see the video of the guy that was arguing with the woman in the stands and started dropping the C-bomb?
Ooh.
Can I call it a C-bomb?
Was it Nagel?
It was not Nagel. It is this is a really bad story.
Oh.
And I'll tell you why. Andrew has always said, Nagel, listen, I'm just going by Andrew here. Andrew has always said the worst place to go to see a football game if you are not an Eagles fan or a fan of the home team is in Philadelphia.
They used to have a court inside the stadium where they would have a judge to deal with unruly fans.
Wow. Well, they dealt with one here. This Eagles fan has lost his entrance into any NFL game. He has lost his job.
Wow.
He's lost everything, and now he is out. His name is Ryan Caldwell, said in a statement to the New York Post, the video, and I can't play it because it is just one F-bomb after a C word after another, that he's saying that his tirade, which was caught on camera and then uploaded, his tirade was not unprovoked. He said they were bantering back and forth. But here's the problem with people like this guy, and I kind of feel like I know people, even me. You get to that, it's almost like I'm going to one-up you. Okay, then I'm going to one-up. And by the time you're going down, I'm going to one-down you. You're going down, you're going lower and lower and lower until you hit the worst of the worst.
It's literally the phrase, do not get in arguments with losers. They will
They'll drag you down
and beat you with experience.
Yeah, and in this case, this guy was calling this woman the C word and going back and forth, and all of it is on camera. He, as I said, has lost his job. He's been kicked out of the stadium for good. And he claims that he was wrong. He apologizes. It has ruined his life. I think his wife is about ready to say,
"Too late.
You have to wash the car now." And but he says it was not unprovoked. They got him going. But don't you have to have enough control?
Absolutely. So he lost his job as a social worker?
No, he was actually. I forgot what I read that he does. Darn it. But he had a really good job, and it was a job, I think, that involved social stuff.
Oh, yeah.
Like you're saying.
Well,
but he's
dealing
done.
with people. Up with people.
Dealing with people. Wow. Anyway, he's speaking. There's a story, if you want to check it out, in the New York Post that is that gets into it. And what he's saying is, listen, I was wrong, but I'm
as soon as you hear the but.
I know. Do you know we're looking at car insurance rates that are sky high? A couple of interesting insurance stories today. Number one, did you see that? Can you imagine a Super Bowl without Mahomes? I want you to think about it because I'm imagining it. But then again, all of a sudden the State Farm commercials come on and he's all over the Super Bowl. Not this year. State Farm has pulled out of the Super Bowl. And it's because of the wildfires. Mm-hmm. They're being hit so hard with billions of dollars in claims that they have pulled their commercials from the Super Bowl.
Even though they already spent billions to air them. Are they going to
even
get their money back?
I think they are canceling the order. So, my guess is
someone will buy it.
They get their money back and somebody else will buy it. The other thing is the word is that car insurance rates, which are already sky high, I think they're already way up.
Mine has gone up by $300, even though I don't have any accidents or anything. And isn't it your car insurance?
Do you have New York?
Down?
Do you have New York?
It's a national
registration. Though.
Yes.
Do you have New York registration?
Mm-hmm.
So. Ours is up too.
It makes no sense.
And well, you're probably paying for some of my my driving, but nonetheless. But they are going up even higher. Average increase in car rates has already gone up over 13%, and now it's actually 16.9% last year. And they're expecting in 2025 your car insurance rates to go up another 13.5%.
Oh. And I could tell from experience being in an incident with someone who was underinsured, it's a nightmare, but I think we're going to see more people opting for either minimal or no insurance at all because they can't afford it.
Well, you can't opt for no insurance in New York. When I went to Providence, they had just passed a law requiring auto insurance. Prior to 1995, prior to that, in Rhode Island, you weren't required to have auto insurance. Somebody could hit you, and you'd be blank out of luck. But that changed back then, and of course the law, I don't know, for as long as I ever remember, has been you must have auto insurance. And believe me, if you go, you get fined per day. If you don't, you can let your registration run out, and they'll deal with you. But if you let your insurance run out, you are fined per day in New York State, and they'll go back and trace it.
Yeah, but then can't people just switch their registrations to another state? We had a huge scandal in Connecticut where people were registering their cars in Maine to get away from that.
Not today. You just can't. I mean, everything's computerized today.
No.
And by then, they'd already given you the death penalty. What are you going to do with that? You're dead, right? You can't even get insurance.
There's a couple of reasons why that happens. One is the amount of accidents that are taking place.
You work in insurance.
I do. I know a little about insurance. Is accidents are way up. I mean, this has happened since COVID. It's just exploded.
Yeah.
Secondly, if you think back in the old days when you were driving your Yugo,
beautiful car.
Yeah, I know, and military time,
How about the Oligo?
And if you hit the back of your car, maybe you'd have to spend $200 for a new bumper or whatever.
Yeah.
Now you hit the back of a car, you take out the camera system, you're talking thousands of dollars. All this technology, as good as it is bad.
Not to mention, you want to change your headlights.
Exactly.
It might cost you $500 at an auto dealership because they have to take the entire car apart to change your headlights.
Right.
And all of that is like one piece. And then you add the electronics to it and the technology
and the cost of the cost of the technician.
Yeah,
You're talking
it's expensive.
$120 an hour. So we all get that.
What you're seeing is people like me tend to, where I used to always turn something into insurance. Now I'll pay for it myself. You're better off spending $2,500 on correcting a problem than turning it into your insurance and dealing with that, because it can be. And by the way, they'll cancel you very quickly.
Exactly.
Okay, a couple of others that are going on. The story is out on Brooks, the man that was allegedly beaten to death by the guards at the prison. Now saying the family is, as part of their lawsuit, is saying it was systematic. He was beaten on a regular basis, no matter which facility he went into, which is pretty terrible. That whole thing is a mess. President Trump has gotten his way. Mike Johnson has said the flags will not fly half-staff on Inauguration Day for Jimmy Carter in Washington.
Is it for the whole day, or is it just during?
I believe it's. I don't know the exact, but it is during. At the very least,
during
the
inauguration. Yes.
Which is the first time that has ever happened. What else that I think was pretty interesting as I'm running out of time. There's a Buffalo pizzeria, I think, that has a great story out there.
Yep.
And they are guaranteeing a win this weekend. It is Pesci's Pizza and Wings in Williamsville. They're guaranteeing a win this weekend. And if the Bills don't win, and you order between now and there's a time, you can look it up, they'll give you your money back.
That is the greatest
advertisement. Oh, it is. But
ever.
But remember, you got to order the pizza now.
Yeah.
And then they'll give you your money back if the Bills don't win. Pretty wild. Got a break. We have news coming up top of the hour. Stand by at WIBX.
Anthony Constantino. He's a local boy, a businessman, and a job creator, not a politician. He's the CEO of Sticker Mule. When he put the country's largest Vote for Trump sign on the roof of his building, the Democrat mayor threatened to put him in jail. But Anthony Constantino stood strong for free speech and Donald Trump. He refused to take down the sign. Now he's running for Congress to fill the seat being vacated by Congresswoman Elise Stefanik. Constantino will fight to put our missile defense at Fort Drum, to protect our apple and dairy farmers, and to bring jobs and affordable housing back to upstate New York. Urge your Republican and Conservative Party leaders to support Anthony Constantino in the upcoming special election.
I'm Anthony Constantino, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Constantino for Congress.
In 2025, there's a lot of uncertainty about EV government regulation. However, there are still huge incentives on EVs and plug-in hybrids right now.
Like the 2025 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid all-wheel drive.
With government incentives, lease this $41,000 vehicle for just $398 per month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
Plug it in at night and get 35 miles on electric.
Gas hybrid engine gets 430 miles on a tank of gas.
It's your tax dollar. Take advantage of the government money while it lasts.
Only during the New Year New Ride sales event.
Make that short drive to save.
So go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
SDK number 25T0575. MSRP $41,240. 36 months, 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due to inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Includes New York State Drive Clean rebate. Offer expires 2/3/2025.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome,
W295EI,
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
There's a holdup in the Gaza ceasefire deal. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
There is a real danger that this deal will not go through, and the 98 hostages that must come home will remain in Hamas hellholes.
Jonathan Deckelhen's son, Sagi, among the American hostages that could be released Sunday in the first phase of the deal to stop the war. But Israel's cabinet has delayed today's vote to approve the agreement that Fox's Trey Yingst reports from Tel Aviv would be
followed by a 48-hour period that will allow for objections in the Israeli Supreme Court. Diplomatic conversations are continuing at a high level, urging stability in this deal. A statement released by the Prime Minister's office overnight said, quote, Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu spoke this evening with U.S. President-elect Donald Trump and thanked him for his assistance in advancing the release of the hostages.
A Trump envoy was involved in the final talks, but President Biden says he led the way getting a ceasefire.
The elements of which I laid out in great detail in May.
The president in a farewell address last night from the Oval Office, touting the job he's done, but also saying,
I want to warn the country of some things that give me great concern.
Calling dis and misinformation threats, and
an oligarchy is taking shape in America of extreme wealth, power, and influence that literally threatens our entire democracy.
More Trump nominees have Senate confirmation hearings this morning. It's day 2 for Pam Bondi, who's up for Attorney General. This is good for now. In the battle against the Los Angeles wildfires, Fox weather meteorologist Janice Dean says winds are calmer.
They're going to get a break today and through the weekend, but next week, a potential another Santa Ana wind event. So that is, concerning. Firefighters really need to get a handle on this.
The fire's blamed for 25 deaths. More than 12,000 homes and buildings have burned. Success in space.
5, 4.
At Cape Canaveral early this morning, Blue Origin launched its new rocket that successfully reached orbit as Jeff Bezos' company competes with SpaceX, though Blue Origin failed to land the reusable booster part of the rocket. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their second month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
We're getting word out of the Vatican about some concern for Pope Francis. He has fallen and injured his right arm. The Pope has had some health issues in recent years. We mentioned those Senate confirmation hearings. It's day 2 for Pam Bondi, the Attorney General nominee. The Treasury Secretary nominee, Scott Bessent, will also be questioned, along with Trump picks to lead the Interior Department, North Dakota Governor Doug Burgum, Housing and Urban Development, Scott Turner, and the EPA, Lee Zeldin. There's a new Fox poll 4 days before President-elect Trump returns to the White House.
The latest Fox News poll shows 52% approve of how President-elect Donald Trump has handled his transition. Only 37% liked how it played out in 2017. President-elect Trump has also called his 2024 victory a mandate. It turns out 42% agree with that, and 51% do not. Along that line, 54% say the Trump victory had more to do with a rejection of President Biden's policies. As he prepares to embark on his second term, the president-elect's personal favorability could go either way. The poll says 50% like him and 50% don't. Gernal Scott, Fox News.
2 weeks after the New Year's attack in New Orleans, as the city gets ready to host the Super Bowl next month, they're clearing out the homeless.
The homeless encampments around the Superdome in New Orleans are gone, and many of the people who were staying there relocated to a temporary warehouse facility that cost millions of dollars to operate. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry framed the sweep as part of a move to secure the city, especially in the aftermath of the New Year's Day attack that killed 14 people. Last week, the state's Supreme Court overturned a restraining order that barred state police from clearing the encampments.
That's Fox's Carmen Roberts. On Wall Street, stock futures are rising after yesterday's big surge for the Dow. I'm Dave Anthony. This is Fox News.
Good morning. It is 7:05, 15 degrees in downtown Utica. I'm Megan Stone. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM with your news update. A local man was arrested on multiple charges after needing to be tased by Oneida County Sheriff's deputies. Authorities say they responded to a domestic incident and learned Joseph Mendoza had harmed a victim. Mendoza continued to evade police and almost hit a deputy with his vehicle. Authorities say they received another complaint about Mendoza days later, and when attempting to take him in again, Mendoza became combative and defiant. Based on his past behavior, which included suicidal statements and fleeing, a taser was deployed. He was charged with first and second degree criminal contempt, as well as various harassment, stalking, and obstruction charges. Mendoza was treated for the taser and then held at Oneida County Jail pending the arraignment. The Oneida County Sheriff's Office is asking the public to help them locate the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers' most wanted person of the week. Authorities are searching for 27-year-old Dominique Wishart, who was last living in Rome. Wishart is wanted on a warrant and for violating the terms and conditions of the drug court. Wishart is described as a white woman who is 5'4", about 150 pounds, with brown hair and brown eyes. Anyone with information on her whereabouts can leave an anonymous tip to the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers using the P3 Tips mobile app or by calling 866-730-8477. The Transportation Security Administration says the number of guns intercepted at upstate New York airports rose in 2024. There were a total of 23 weapons seized, an increase of 3 from 2023, and tying the record set in 2022. 4 of those guns were discovered at Frederick Douglass Greater Rochester International Airport by TSA officers during routine screening. The TSA says any responsible gun owner should know they can't have their weapons at an airport checkpoint. And eating lots of red meat could increase your chances for dementia. A new study shows people who eat the equivalent of 2 slices of bacon or a hot dog a day have a 13% greater chance of developing dementia than those who eat a minimal amount. The study was published in the journal Neurology. It is 7:07, still 15 degrees in Marcy. Here is your full weather forecast on WIBX.
Mostly cloudy, cold out there today. Scattered snow showers possible later on this afternoon into this evening. Highs mid-20s. Down around or below 20 tonight. Cloudy, cold Friday with a chance of snow showers. Afternoon highs low 30s. Rain, snow mix possible Saturday. Highs upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
We're currently, and hold on, I'm going to tell you right now, 15 degrees and partly cloudy with still that nearly full moon out there adding a little light to things. But we're moving our way upward into a warmer weekend before things get very, very cold. 15 degrees at WIBX.
In sports, the Giants are parting ways with a pair of coaches. According to NFL Network, the G-Men fired defensive passing game coordinator Jerome Henderson and safeties coach Michael Trier. Both coaches joined the Giants as part of Joe Judge's staff in 2020. New York won 3-14 and has the 3rd overall pick in the 2020 draft. The Jets continue to search for a new head coach. According to Sports Illustrated, the Green and White have requested an interview with Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. It is likely the interview will occur later this week. And the Utica Comets, they won 7-3 last night over the Hartford Wolfpack. I know Bill gave me this note because I am a Connecticut girly. A familiar face is returning to the Baltimore Ravens. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson was claimed off waivers by the Ravens on Wednesday, a day after he was waived by the Houston Texans. Johnson will not be able to officially go to the Ravens until February 10th, which is the day following the Super Bowl. The Browns are being sued by their own city. Cleveland leadership filed legislation Tuesday to prevent the team from moving. City officials are invoking the Modell Law, which was passed back in 1996 after former owner Art Modell relocated the franchise to Baltimore. The current owners have expressed interest in building a new dome stadium in Brook Park, which is about 10 miles south of Cleveland. The Chargers head coach is set to undergo a pair of off-season procedures. Los Angeles Jim Harbaugh said that he is scheduled to have a cardiac ablation this offseason in addition to a hip replacement surgery. The 61-year-old left the team's Week 6 game due to a flare-up with an atrial flutter, which is the type of arrhythmia that causes the heart to beat at an abnormally high rate. Harbaugh has previously said he would not consider retiring because of health issues. It is 709 WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Okay, Megan, thank you. Listen, Andrew's away this week, by the way. He'll be back next week. We have started to watch a show on, and you're watching what? I'll start with you, Tim. Tim is in for Andrew. Landman, and it's with Billy Bob Thornton. That's a good one to watch. Now, I got to say, this one is a little long-winded, this documentary. It's just my basic feel on it. A little long-winded. However, it's an amazing story of a guy who was in bands in the 60s and 70s, and then one day started collecting guitars and then opened up a guitar shop in L.A., and it's called Norman's Rare Guitars Documentary. And now there's a local connection to this. The person who is really close to him and is all over this documentary is from here, Joe Bonamassa, all over this thing. So if you get a chance to check it out, it's on Netflix. It's called Norman's Rare Guitars Documentary.
I wonder how much the insurance is for that place. Think about it, the fires. Whoa.
He has, some of these guitars are selling, and he has thousands and thousands of guitars. And some of them they're antique. They go back into the 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. And then the antique is whose guitar was it? Who played it? What movie was it in? If you see a movie with a guitar, chances are it came from this guitar shop in Hollywood. But Joe Bonamassa is all over this thing. It's a really cool documentary. Check it out if you'd like. On the line right now, the one and only Cordelia.
Good morning, everybody. The reason why I'm calling then is because of the hearings and how brutal they're getting and how rude they are.
Yeah.
Terrible.
These tend to be brutal. They tend to involve a ton of grandstanding. Yeah. And it is what it is. I saw a little bit of it yesterday. Today will be interesting because today you're going to get and I think like Rubio, I think his was fairly easy. And I think at least Stefanik will be a slam dunk.
Yep.
Hers will be fairly easy, but she's going at it today, and that's going to trigger the congressional race here locally. It's going to be today's Thursday. She's not today.
Yeah.
Megan had a story at 6 o'clock saying it's not until next Tuesday.
Now they've moved her.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Well, we'll see her next week.
Well, I really feel bad for all them, and I feel bad for Elise because we're going to lose her. She would have been so terrific for our area.
Right, for Griffiths and all of what's going on there, yeah.
Yeah, because the first time she was put in, because they first gerrymandered the first time, she came and we all met her, and she dug right in. Then they re-gerrymandered, and we lost her. Then they got her back. You know, and this last time we got her back, we were elated.
I really don't think you need to feel bad for her. She's okay. Maybe for you, feel sorry for yourself.
Me.
Yeah.
Yes, but not for her. She's in a pretty good place.
It's all about Cordelia.
Yes, it is. All right, Cordelia.
I'm Elise. I can't stand it.
And I've already spoken to Ann from Rome this morning, and she wants to double down on this. I know you do as well. Celebrating a birthday today. He is only 47 years old today.
Roanne.
No. Is Roanne's birthday today, too?
Yes, it is.
Well, so is Joe Griffo's. I didn't realize they had the same birthday.
No, Roanne's is the 15th, and his is the 16th.
Okay, well, today's the 16th. I hate to...
Yeah. Okay, we're behind.
So Roanne's was yesterday. Joe's is... You're right up on this, Cordelia.
Yeah.
So a happy birthday to Senator Joe Griffo out there, if you see him today. All right, good stuff, Cordelia. Thank you. Have a wonderful day.
Another thing, we're going to have to get dog sleds to go up north now.
Yeah, it's a lot of snow. That's a lot of snow up there. So.
Okay, God bless everybody.
Thank
Good
you.
night.
All right. Okay. That's Cordelia. And here on January the 16th. Didn't realize, but Roanne's birthday was yesterday, so happy birthday to Roanne DeStito as well. Coming up from the Community Foundation, our lifeline, really, with our organization called Real Men Get Tested for cancer. Nick Grimer is coming right on. We're going to speak with him. If you had a...
Grimmer.
Is it Grimmer?
Yeah.
Sorry, I've always...
Grimer, that's, wasn't she the basketball player?
That is bad on my part. You know what? He's never...
Russia.
He has never once corrected me.
Well, he's a gentleman.
Well, unlike me.
You? Well,
me,
not
you,
so much.
Not so much. Nick Grimmer from the Community Foundation coming right up, and we're going to get to him. And stand by. We'll do that next.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or avacincaptad pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Every once in a while, something that sounds too good to be true is actually, in fact, true. How would you like up to $4,000 of free windows? And when I say $4,000 of free windows, I mean $4,000 of free windows. No gimmicks or games. You don't have to buy $4,000 to get $4,000 free. You just get up to $4,000 of free windows through Patriot Home Solutions and NYSERDA. Of course, some restrictions apply, but none of these restrictions are income-based, and you don't have to sit through a long, drawn-out sales presentation. Give Patriot a call at 315-401-0440, and they can quickly tell you over the phone if you qualify or how you can get qualified. That's 315-401-0440. These aren't any windows. They're high-quality, custom-fitted windows designed to save energy and keep the cold air out all winter. Your window solution is Patriot Home Solutions. Online at patriothomesolutions.com.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me with no commitment. Come see us and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
When you choose Bassett Healthcare Network for your surgical needs, you'll get amazing care from a devoted team of surgical specialists. Bassett surgeons offer many advanced services, including minimally invasive and robotic procedures. Surgeons are accepting new patients at convenient locations in Cooperstown, Oneonta, Delhi, Little Falls, and Herkimer. Choose a remarkable Bassett surgeon and discover a team you can trust. Visit bassett.org/remarkable surgeons to learn more.
Does this sound like you? You own a house in central New York, and there's one home improvement project you keep putting off because it's stressing you out. Maybe it's a leaky window, a shaky deck, or replacing that old fridge. Well, that's why you should listen to The Money Pit. Hi, I'm Tom Kreitler.
And I'm Leslie Segretti, and our show is all about helping guide your home improvement projects. Our combined expertise will point you in the right direction no matter the dilemma and get you right back to enjoying your home.
Listen to The Money Pit every Saturday morning from 8 to 10 a.m. only on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay. I want to read something to introduce our next person here, our next guest. This is from Nagel. Nick Grimmer is such a great guy. Get his name right, Bill. You guys have it out for all these people. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
He said, you have it. You have it out for tall people.
Yeah.
That might be it. Nagal, John Nagal. On the line
south of the border
right now is Nick Grimmer from the Community Foundation. Nick, good morning. Thanks so much for coming on.
I owe Nagel a salad. We've been connected for over 40 years now, so appreciate it, John.
He's a good guy. And, Nagel is doing, it's like part 2 or maybe 3 of his life where he just had a change in careers and decided, I'm going to start up a construction company, Pitter Patter Construction. And he does I'm on his list going forward, but you've been on his list. Yeah.
He's amazing.
He does a really good job.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Good for him. Reinventing himself over and over again is an underrated skill.
Yep.
Bill's done that with radio.
I do.
He just keeps going to different stations, get fired, and try a new one.
I have no choice, right? And Nick, it's interesting. Every time I reinvent myself, I get a little taller. It's really weird.
Perfect.
You'd be 10 foot.
Yeah. Before you know it, I'll be right up there with Paul Bunyan up there at Shannon Forest. Okay, Nick, good morning. And I got to say that for us, and I didn't really know anything about this. This is something that Tim really turned us to when we decided to do this basically organization that does nothing but promote getting tested early, and early detection saves lives with cancer. It does. It can increase your chance at survival, but also really decrease, if you catch it early enough, it decreases what you have to go through for treatment,
right?
Which is enormous. But Nick, I should say, Tim turned us on to the Community Foundation, which really serves as an umbrella. Explain how it works, Nick, if you could. And this allows us to not have to go through all of the legal fees and all of that to be able to set up a 501c3.
Yeah, the Real Men Get Tested campaign has been a really almost case study in how partnership is really working for you to accomplish what you set out to. I think the first time we spoke was late 2018, early 2019. So this relationship's been going for the better part of 6 years now. And I think it's clear both of you two have a relatively busy life, I think is fair to say. And you don't need to be burdened by all those extra administrative duties and responsibilities of running, say, a public charity or a private foundation.
Yeah.
So when Mr. Reed picked up the phone and called to talk about how we could work together, I thought that was a great door to open. And this is, it's really accessible to anybody who really wants to accomplish something charitable, whether it's a scholarship to their high school, to their alma mater, a campaign like yours to raise awareness for obviously a really important, something very personal to both of you and people in my family. And then other things that may be a little bit more lighthearted. Some people maybe want to support youth sports, maybe want to support animals. So the nice thing again is we have a really generous community. We have a really strong nonprofit sector. But I think what the maybe end goal of this program, the Community Foundation's developed over the years, is duplication of efforts is really not a benefit. Working together, working under an umbrella of a parent organization such as our Community Foundation can still help you get you where you want to be. But I think it gives you a head start, and maybe you two can maybe give some firsthand experience about that.
Well, I'll tell you, the one thing that's amazing is you want to be able to, as a charity, you want to be able to accept donations today using credit card or Apple Pay or whatever. Yep. And you're able to do that. You could do that on your own, but you're going to have to set all of that stuff up. This gets set up through the Community Foundation. They give us the link. We then put the link through our website, and then it forwards to you click the button, and all of a sudden you're able to give. And by the way, you could do that for Real Men Get Tested. It really is an incredible. I'll say it's an incredible organization, even though we started it. And it's only because we, other than the fees. A very, very small percentage of fees taken to cover expenses by the Community Foundation. No money comes out of that. It all goes to the cause.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolutely. And there's going to be a cost of doing business anyway if you do it on your own.
Absolutely,
so,
yes.
At the end of the day, running a nonprofit is still a corporation. You're still running a business, so there's going to be expenses. I just think if you do a cost-benefit analysis and then also look at kind of some of the expertise you're tapping into with the Community Foundation, with accounting, with knowing how to accept and dissolve and acknowledge complex gifts, because you want donors to be able to give to you and support things like Real Men Get Tested in a tax efficient way, really maximize their benefits. And that's what we do as a business. So look at it as go ahead.
Well, I'm saying the other part of this is because you deal with so much, your fees for like a transaction with a credit card will be lower than what we're going to pay if we went through and did it on our own.
Yeah, the economy of scale is beneficial. Our approach with how, again, a community foundation works at a really high level is all of our funds. We have about 550 charitable funds. Real Men Get Tested is one of those 550. Everything is pooled together, so there's a lot of buying power when it comes to investing the funds, credit card fees, and just, again, general operating costs. So just to give some rough numbers so folks can wrap their heads around it, on an annual basis, if you're running $25,000 through a charitable fund at the community foundation, the fee works out to about roughly $375.
Think about
so you're
that.
looking at low cost for full administration, and that eliminates all those responsibilities of you having to file your own 501c3 and keep active with all the IRS and New York State regulations. We take care of all that for that $375.
And just think about that: $25,000 raised, $375 in fees that basically handle the transaction of credit cards, et cetera, et cetera. And that is unbelievable, considering in New York State, I believe the requirement is 5%. So you could have 95%, and I have to look this up again, but I'm pretty sure this is the number. You could have 95% in administrative fees and only give 5% to the charity, and you meet the definition of a nonprofit charitable organization in New York State. I mean, that's incredible. So people are paying themselves salaries. They're doing none of that here.
No, Real Men is, again, you two have not enriched yourself in this program by any means.
Trust me. Trust me.
Yeah, you spent a lot of sweat equity to get this up and running. And honestly, last year you were able to put together a PSA during the Super Bowl, which was, I think, something you guys should be really proud of. That's a huge accomplishment.
Yeah, well, it kind of hurt me a little bit. The governor's been coming after me ever since. So
you called in a lot of favors, Bill.
Yeah,
I'd pay $365 not to have to deal with any of the administrative nonsense.
Yes. And but you have, what did you say? There are 550 under charities that are under your umbrella at the community foundation.
Yeah, between nonprofits who use us for some support administratively, who don't really, again, a lot of them are nonprofit boards that are volunteer only. And again, Tim can speak firsthand on that.
Yep.
A lot of people, again, want to work with an organization that exists day to day that does that for a living.
Yeah.
So they can outsource things like fundraising, again, accounting, investment. And then another significant chunk of that 550 are our corporate donor advised funds, our family funds, and scholarships. And then, fortunately for us, a lot of people have entrusted their legacies to the community foundation. People that we've lost over the years have left memorials. And those funds are here in this community, giving grants to organizations, helping our citizens, helping create a vibrant place to live. And it's a real big obligation on our part to be able to uphold those people's good names and again, the great things they did in this area. But it's an amazing way for a family to, again, remember a loved one. And all of those functions, from, again, partnering with other organizations all the way to partnering with families for their planning, are things that we do on a day-to-day basis. And we're lucky to do it, and we're happy to do it.
You know, Nick, I can't help but think back when one of the 2 times I was interim executive director of United Way, and I remember that the Community Foundation just had this one little, office with, I think Gordon Hayes was running it at the time or whatever, and
it's amazing.
And to look at what you guys have done, and you are clearly the go-to guys in regards to local need, local wants, or whatever, spotting these things that there's a need in this community that maybe we don't see. And, for Bill and myself, with Real Men is that, and I'm not trying to throw any shade at the American Cancer Society or whatever, but our whole focus is we really want to make our local community a better place, and for guys. And, that's kind of your mantra too in regards to it, to help, Herkimer and Oneida County become a much better place. And for that, I think we're forever indebted to, what you and Alicia and the whole team do.
Well, we're fortunate to be able to serve in this role while we're here, but this organization is going to outlast us all. The Community Foundation is going to be turning 75 years old in the near future. Some exciting announcements to come on that. You both are very well aware of the program we launched a few years ago called Mohawk Valley Gives. And that's a one-day, big, fun day in the community that promotes philanthropy. And last September 20th, this community stepped up to the plate, and over $5.2 million was donated directly to nonprofits.
And we're not the richest community.
Yeah.
People go out of their way.
And by the way, we're both very well aware of Mohawk Valley Gives. And we're also both very well aware that we've missed the deadline 3 years in a row. So
we're either going to keep the streak going, or we're going to really go the other direction.
No, we're going to the other direction.
We believe in consistency.
So, by the way, Nick, I just want to say we thank you for allowing us to be able to do this and get our message out. It does make a difference. We hear from people all the time who say, I saw that reminder, we'll call it that, and I scheduled my PSA test, or I scheduled my blood work, or colonoscopy, whatever it might be. And it goes for women as well, but women just do a better job of taking care of their bodies than invincible.
God created them smarter.
Not invincible men. Yeah. So we appreciate it. And by the way, you could go right now to realmengettested.com. Click on the donate button, and you could give right now. And oh, by the way, it's all tax deductible.
Yep,
100%. It's all public charity status, and again, you're raising awareness for something that affects everybody in this area. So keeping that money local, spreading the good word, and again, I appreciate you using your platform for something like this, and I appreciate you letting us talk about the Community Foundation a little bit. We're proud of what we do.
Well, let's not forget we had a big disaster in Rome this year.
Yep.
And there were many organizations that stepped up, but the Community Foundation was up and running within hours of that. It's just unbelievable how quickly you guys are able to act, and you've taken, and thanks to all of you, including Alicia, you guys have taken a major lead role in this community, and it is not unnoticed. So we appreciate it.
Well, thank you, and I know our board and Alicia, we were happy to be able to respond to again another tragic situation, but we're really the platform, and we're only as good as the people that respond to it. We had hundreds of thousands of dollars in donations to that Rome tornado fund within 48 hours, and that money started being deployed to the residents immediately. And now, actually, we've already, with the partnership with the Oneida County and Anthony Picenti, we've been able to distribute over $1 million to the residents impacted by that tornado. So
that's incredible.
Again, another turning a bad situation into something to, again, show that this community is here for everybody.
We appreciate it, Nick. Thank you so much. You have a great day.
All right, gentlemen.
Thanks, Nick.
Thank you for having me.
All right, thank you.
Bye-bye.
Nick Grimmer with the Community Foundation. Let me go quickly to Investigator Sahid Karzik with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. Sahid, you've seen this firsthand, where this disaster in Rome and throughout the area has affected so many people.
Absolutely, Bill. It's a very, very, very tragic incident, and hopefully our community doesn't experience that again.
Yeah, just such a rare occurrence you would not expect. All right, each week, Tim and I are also involved in a great organization in the Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers.
You can say it.
Real Men Get Crime Stoppers.
Real Men Get Crime Stoppers. Stop that crime.
Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers, which gives people the opportunity. It's so important today, especially in the cities where it's hard to report a crime, and you fear that someone's going to find out. There could be retribution. This is all anonymous. Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers, one of our partner agencies is the Oneida County Sheriff's Department. And Investigator, you have a wanted person, in this case, a wanted female of the week. What do we have?
Yes, Bill. This week we have a female by the name of Dominique Wishart. She's 27 years of age. She's 5'4", weighs approximately 150 pounds. She has brown hair and brown eyes. Currently, our office holds a bench warrant out of Oneida County Drug Court for the felony charge of assault in the second degree. And her last known address is going to be in the city of Rome.
Okay, so the full story, details, all of that up on our website. She's 27 years old.
Yeah.
But the picture's up there as well. If you have any information, it would benefit everybody, probably including her.
Right. She looks very sullen.
Yes, you can see that photo on our website.
It's sad.
Obviously, this is important. You can do it anonymously, and if the person is apprehended, there is a possible cash reward out there as well.
Absolutely, Bill.
Okay, investigator, we appreciate your time. Thank you so much. All the phone numbers, the app, all that from Mohawk Valley Crime Stoppers is in the story. We'll talk again soon, Sahid. Thank you.
Thank you, Bill.
Have a great day. Sahid Karsik,
you too.
Investigator with the Oneida County Sheriff's Office. You're also on that that board.
I am. Thanks.
I kind of lured you into that.
Yeah.
But you know what?
Well, I lured you into cancer, so it all kind of works out.
Together, we're,
Yeah, I don't know which. No, I know.
I don't know either. Worse. Yeah. All right, let me break. Coming up, Megan has an update on the news. She will do that, and then we will do Hobikas.
Oh, come on, Davey, don't be sad.
What's wrong? What are you upset about?
I'm not upset about nothing.
Let me turn your mic on.
Davey, you got to think.
Questions
coming up.
How much money?
Come on.
I'm not upset about nothing.
Okay. All right. How much money do you think we're going to take a shot at with Hobika not being on the line today?
$300.
Whoa.
Yeah, it's okay.
$300 on the line. We'll do it after Megan's news, which is coming up at WIBX.
Hi, I'm Pete from Big Apple Music, and whether it's your home or business, you have a lot invested. In the past, a camera surveillance system was an expensive luxury. Big Apple has now made it affordable. Big Apple is the area's leader when it comes to camera surveillance systems, having installed hundreds locally in homes and businesses. Big Apple is New York State licensed for security and camera surveillance, with most of our products sourced from American companies. Featuring Starlight Night Vision, our cameras dollar for dollar have the best night vision available. A camera surveillance system can offer full property coverage. It prevents and reduces crime, monitors high-risk areas like parking lots and showrooms, and Big Apple has a fully set-up showroom to give you real-time, realistic demonstrations of just how great a camera system can be for you. Stop in and see for yourself at Big Apple Music in New Hartford.
It's a winter wonderland of deals at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Drive in to unbeatable offers on vehicles built to handle snow and ice. Lease the 2025 Equinox LT all-wheel drive for only $369 a month. Or tackle winter with the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive. Lease for just $425 a month. Hurry, these deals won't last. Offers end January 31st. Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Lease terms of 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Mileage penalty of 25 cents per mile over 30,000 miles. Lessee must have a current Chevy lease in the household. Customer must qualify and sign up with a new GM card. All taxes, fees, $2,000 down on first payment due at delivery. Equinox stock number 25230. Silverado stock number 24621. See salesperson for details. Find your perfect winter ride today at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer, where it's always easy to do business. Together, let's drive.
Good morning. It is 7:38 and currently 14 degrees outside in Utica under cloudy skies or partially overcast. Your full weather forecast is coming up next. I'm Megan Stone. Police are looking for a man going around New York City that's starting fires. The NYPD says the serial arsonist lit a NYPD cruiser on fire near City Hall. He also lit another vehicle on fire on Murray Street. Then he set trash on fire near a sleeping subway passenger in Queens inside the Woodhaven Avenue station. All of these incidents happened within a 1.5-hour span last Friday. Police have released surveillance photos of the suspect. Mayor Eric Adams is detailing his new $650 million plan to help the homeless and mentally ill who are on New York City streets and the subway system. Adams says Bridge to Home NYC Health and Hospitals will offer a home-like environment to those with serious mental illness who will get treatment and, when ready, will be moved into permanent housing. Adams says this will reduce inpatient hospitalizations and ultimately decrease street homelessness. In addition, the city is adding 900 safe haven shelter beds to expand its capacity to serve the homeless. The plan follows a series of high-profile subway attacks, and officials say this will break the cycle of the homeless going from the street to the hospital to psychiatric care. The FDA is proposing a new rule aimed at helping shoppers make healthier choices. The proposed rule would require new labels on the front of the food packaging that shows information including whether a product has low, medium, or high amounts of sodium, saturated fat, or added sugar. It would complement the nutrition facts label that is already required on most packaged food, according to the FDA. Advocates say front-of-package labels have been shown in other countries to incentivize food companies to reformulate products and help people make healthier options. The FDA is banning red dye number 3 in food, drinks, and ingested drugs. Wednesday's move comes more than 30 years after scientists found links between the dye, which is made from petroleum, and cancer in animals. Red dye number 3 is added to foods and beverages to give them an appealing cherry color. Manufacturers that use the additive are being given 2 years to remove it and reformulate their products. Red dye number 3 has been banned in California since October 2023. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. It's 7:41 and still 14 degrees in Utica. Here is your full weather forecast.
Mostly cloudy, cold out there today. Scattered snow showers possible later on this afternoon into this evening. Highs mid-20s. Down around or below 20 tonight. Cloudy, cold Friday with a chance of snow showers. Afternoon highs low 30s. Rain, snow mix possible Saturday. Highs upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
Currently, with partly cloudy skies, we're looking at 15 degrees right now. Nice chilly day in the teens. You know what I don't understand, and Megan, maybe you can answer this. Oh, she's on the phone. Davey, maybe you can answer this. Can you believe that they have now banned red dye number whatever? Red dye. Go ahead. You're on now.
Red dye number 3.
They have now banned red dye number 3 for human consumption. And it'll be a 2-year process for this to all go through. But 25, 30 years ago, we banned it for cosmetics. So basically what was said is you can't put it in someone's lipstick, but you can eat it. It just does seem so upside down. If this does cause cancer, what took us so long to fix this, right? Coming up, we're going to speak with John Manion, Congressman John Manion. We'll speak with him in a second. First, though, we have Hobica's free money question of the day. And this morning, as Davey said, it's worth $300. Are you ready? Looking for caller number what?
Caller number 8.
8th caller. Dial right now. Dial carefully. We'll do that. And then John Manion coming up. 8th caller from the Hobica Law Firm. 315-736-0186. A chance at $300 right now at WIBX.
I went in for a regular prostate screening, and my lab results showed my PSA level were elevated.
We repeated the lab test, and the second test came back elevated too. We did a biopsy, and the biopsy showed cancer in certain areas of Philip's prostate.
Dr. Bob performed a prostatectomy at Wayne Hospital using robotic surgery to remove the cancer.
We were able to cure him with smaller incisions, and he had a quick recovery.
Since the surgery, all my PSA level has been normal. I am proof that early detection can prevent something far worse.
I had been lifting something heavy, felt a tinge in my back. I also had some shortness of breath, but thought it was due to what I figured was some kind of muscle pull. I was wrong.
The episodes of pain that Ray was experiencing were actually small heart attacks. The Wynn Emergency Department was able to provide immediate life-saving care to Ray's heart.
If it wasn't for the amazing team at Wynn, I might not be here at all. I feel indebted to everyone who helped make Wynn Hospital a reality so I can get the immediate care I needed right when I needed it.
Thank you for giving my daddy back home.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me with no commitment. Come see us and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
The new year means new health goals, not just for your body, but your finances too. Your personal info is in so many places that are outside of your control. It only takes one mistake, and not even your mistake, to expose you to identity theft and lost funds. If your identity's stolen, LifeLock's restoration specialist will fix it, guaranteed, or your subscription money back, and resolve to make identity, health, and wealth part of your New Year's goals with LifeLock. Visit LifeLock.com and save up to 40% off your first year with promo code CLAY. Terms apply.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
Okay, here we go on a chilly Thursday morning. Time for Hobica's free money question of the day. Portions of the program brought to you by Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Great coffee, espressos, lattes. And, of course, their donuts are made fresh there every single day. Bagels, breakfast sandwiches, the avocado toast. It's all there at Daylight Donuts in New Hartford. Very fast drive-through. Christine is located in Utica, ready to take a shot at Hobica's free money question of the day, coming from the Hobica Law Firm at 315-724-1600 for all of your legal needs. Christine, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
I'm doing all right. Pretty good.
How are you feeling about this?
Yeah, I'm feeling really good.
Okay. All right. With
Power of positive
with
thought.
$300 on the line. Here is your question. I got to make sure this is phrased properly. All right, here we go. Here's your question. 7 seconds. Davey, you're ready to go?
I'm ready to go.
All right. Deep breath, Christine. Deep breath.
You sound like you got COPD.
Sounds like it's your last.
No,
Sounds like that was your last breath.
Game. He's up there bugging me.
Okay, here we go.
Let's go.
GridLeak Incorporated was the first owner of what company today? Ready, go.
Uber.
GridLeak. You're saying GridLeak became Uber. No. I'm bringing this up because it is a celebratory moment that we're all dealing with. Davey, do you have any idea? GridLeak Incorporated.
Oh, Roto-Rooter?
Roto-Rooter. Oh, that's interesting. There's a leak. Roto-Rooter. No. Davey?
I have no clue.
Tim Reed. GridLeak became...
And we're celebrating?
We are celebrating. Let's see if Megan can get this. GridLeak, Megan, became what?
National Grid?
GridLeak became WIBX.
Oh, my God.
It is the first owner. I know. We're celebrating 100 years this year, and the celebration is underway. So it was December 5th, 1925. GridLeak Incorporated was a radio company in Utica, New York, and they launched the first radio station in this region. This station 100 years ago. Yeah.
Wow. Interesting.
Yeah. Maybe I'll ask that question again in a couple of weeks, see if people remember, and then we'll give his money away. All right. I'm sorry, Christine, but we are going to. I do have for you a. I think we're out of the cards. We got to get more. So I will give you my Pioneers hockey tickets for Saturday night. These are great seats. A 4-pack of tickets for Saturday night at the Utica Odd, the Red Hot Utica Pioneers on the ice at the Adirondack Bank Center. Stand by, and Megan's going to hook you up. I'll need your cell phone and email in order to transfer the tickets to you, okay?
Okay.
All right. Thank you, Christine.
Thank you.
And tell John he should have known this.
Oh, he's such a loser. And Mike today, I got to admit.
All right. Thank you. All right. Stand by. That's, by the way, John in Bridgewater. I could hear him in the background.
Yeah.
They all compete in this thing.
Well, she chose him.
She chose
She's
him.
talking bad about him.
On the line right now, what an important time we're dealing with right now in Congress. We're just days from the inauguration. Confirmation hearings going on as we speak. On the line right now is Congressman John Manion. Good morning.
Good morning. Thanks for having me on.
So I do have to ask you, based on I realize that this is all farmed out to agencies and the health departments and all of that, but doesn't it seem odd that in America, in 2020, well, unfortunately, now we're actually banning it, but this red dye number 3? Whatever it is.
It's not 2.
It is banned in cosmetics, meaning you can't put it to make the lipstick red.
But
it's going to be okay for the next 30 years to eat it. Doesn't that sound like the oddest thing in the world?
Well, I'll tell you, I listened to your spot before I came on, and I read an article on it, I think, late last night, and again, I was a science teacher, and, you want people to have faith in our government agencies, and sometimes the long-lasting impacts of these things take time to know really. And you can do something in a lab or on an animal. It's different when it comes to a person.
Right.
I hope it's in the best interest of all of us. But of course, I read it like you did, which is okay. Now we're going to move away from this. And of course, the image that was on there was bazooka gum, which I think everybody my age was chewing when they were a kid in the playground. So, again, sometimes it takes time to study these things, and I certainly wasn't privy to any of it until I read the article myself.
And I got to tell you, that bazooka gum, you'd get a bag of it, and you wouldn't eat it with just one. I mean, you just kiss that. While I love that gum, it lost its flavor quickly, and you always needed to throw in another piece. But you do want
a good business plan, I think.
That was a very good, very good business plan. All right, let me ask you. You're settling in, but these are very, very interesting times with all of what's going on right now.
They are. We've got a lot going on. We're going through a change of administration, and I'm in the House, but the Senate is conducting these hearings, which are very important. Things changed years ago. The threshold to approve a nomination is lower and therefore more partisan. But we need qualified people in all of these positions who have the background, the experience, the character to be able to do this, And we've got a lot going on around this world. We certainly got a lot going on in this country, but what's happening in Israel and Gaza and Ukraine is a reminder that we got to work together because we do have great challenges around this world, and unity is key.
Already, the House has been active in passing a bill regarding transgender athletes. I've looked at this story and I get it. It's been a big deal, but the number of cases in the United States is minuscule. I realize this is a hot topic for some people. What's your take on it? And it seemed like this went along party lines in the House.
It did. So there's a lot there.
But as you're a school teacher, so I think it gives you a little interesting insight that I'm very interested in hearing.
Sure, and I'll get there, but I want to say this. We have, in New York State, when it comes to high school athletics, we have an organization that has handled these situations repeatedly over and over again. They have the authority to do it. This legislation is talking about being very invasive. It's one thing to check a birth certificate, which everybody has to submit when they go to school or they play Little League, but they're talking about, physical examination of individuals that are called into question. And we don't know who authorizes that. We don't know who is going to do that inspection. And your point is a key one, which is a lot is made of this issue that is disproportional to the situation. We want safety and fairness in sports, and we have safety and fairness in sports with some exceptions that I think we would all agree to, which are some minor cases that the NCAA has gone through and it's been litigated. where, there is a clear lack of fairness with certain individuals playing these sports. So, it's an attempt to politicize it. We have organizations that are doing this work already. I was a teacher and a biology teacher. I honestly taught kids that long after they were out of my classroom and, not to my knowledge, had transitioned to a different gender. And, I taught those kids. I didn't know any of that, but I certainly hope that they were in a classroom where, like all my students, they were in a supportive setting, and certainly we didn't have any conversations around that.
I've got somebody, Bill Morehouse. I got to look that up. Bill Morehouse is saying 900 medals have been stolen from young ladies because there's a transgender former male who's competing. I do have to look that up. And again, I do say I completely agree with you that we have completely. Well, you didn't make the statement. I'm going to make it. But based on what you said, is why do we no longer trust the state education department or the Section 3 or the athletic, these organizations that have been there to protect kids? And this is not new, because let me tell you, when a seventh grader wants to wrestle on the varsity team, there is a great deal that kid has to go through in order to be able to prove that he is matured enough to be able to wrestle with kids who are in high school. So there's already medical procedures that are quite somewhat invasive, but are done through a nurse, people who are experts. I don't know of many people that are sitting in Congress that are medical experts. There's a few, but I don't know of many.
Yeah, we do have medical doctors on our side, some of them pediatricians, some of them OBGYNs. But, I don't know the news source that this gentleman is referring to. I don't know what would have been the authoritative body that oversees, if that is, in fact, accurate, But I will say this. I was a biology teacher, and a lot was made of the Algerian boxer, female boxer, in this past Olympics. And she is anatomically, from birth, female. She has female anatomy. She happens to have an X and a Y chromosome. So these things do happen in the uniqueness of biology and genetics, where there's a genetic transformation there. Now, that's one situation. There's a lot more to talk about in this situation. But for me, the bottom line is that we have authoritative bodies that should be that are already doing this work and have been doing it for decades, and I trust them to do this. It is an issue that has been politicized, and it has to be about fairness. It's about fairness, and I think that when I've seen the news articles and I've read them. I know that there's some female volleyball Division I teams that have not competed in championship competitions as a result of it. And, they are taking that stand. And that's where the questioning should really be on the authoritative body to get it right. And they should have rules and regulations in place to get it right. And if they're not getting it right, they should be held accountable. But honestly, what we're talking about in this piece of legislation is examination of individuals as young as in kindergarten. And we have all known kids that have played on the soccer field or whatever, where they may be an exceptional athlete, and it might be a sport that is broken out by gender. And sometimes I coach kids where they said, I had a female player where she was large in stature and a short haircut, and people wanted to know if she was a boy. And she had to deal with that, and her parents had to deal with that. And yes, we should have authoritative bodies to oversee it, and we do. And she already went through that process, and her family went through that process. And that's it opens up a big window into examination of kids that I don't want, and I think the majority of people don't want.
Well, can I just say, WNBA? If you look at that, I mean, there is no way I could compete, or even you, Tim. You're a very good athlete, but we ain't competing. We ain't competing there. Quickly, I got less than a minute, and I know this kind of took up the topic, but what do you want to accomplish? What do you want to accomplish? And again, less than a minute. What are your goals going forward in Congress?
Well, listen, I want to make sure that I represent the people of New York 22 the way they want to be represented. And living here my whole life, I think I know about where we fall on things. I'm on two very important committees to the region. One is education and workforce, and I bring a perspective not just as a teacher, but as somebody who advocated for the trades, advocated for apprenticeship programs, and brought that funding back. And then also in agriculture, the challenges are great for our farmers. We want to keep our small family farms. Right. We got to listen to the farmers, which is, one of the challenges I saw.
I hate to interrupt, but I'm running out. But I think that those two committees are really, really good for you. Let's do this again soon. Congressman Manion, thank you so much for the time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Keeler, for having me on. Take care.
From the Stanley Theater Studio, WIBX Utica, Rome.
W295EI.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM, a Town Square media station.
Is the Gaza ceasefire deal in jeopardy? I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
The only thing that is predictable about the Middle East, it's that it's unpredictable.
Ruby Hen's son Ite was killed in the Hamas terror attack that triggered the war. His body is among the 4 Americans believed dead that Hamas still holds, along with 3 others who are believed alive and could be released. But Fox's Jonathan Savage reports.
The Israeli cabinet is meant to meet today to approve the long-awaited deal that would end fighting in Gaza and bring the hostages home. But Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu now says that meeting won't take place. He's accusing Hamas of reneging on parts of the agreement, and he won't convene the cabinet until Hamas backs down.
Trump envoy was involved in the final talks. But in a farewell address last night from the Oval Office, President Biden took credit for the ceasefire deal he says they worked on for months. And while the president touted the job he's done, he also issued warnings. And Fox's Peter Ducey reports from the White House.
This is a president, Joe Biden, who wants to be able to say, I told you so. The audience for his scripted remarks last night was less people watching in prime time and more of a gamble that the things he was talking about will come true.
This is a dangerous concentration, and that's a dangerous concentration of power in the hands of a very few ultra-wealthy people. And the dangerous consequences if their abuse of power is left unchecked.
4 more Trump nominees we questioned at the Senate this morning. Joining Pam Bondi, who's in line for Attorney General, is there for day 2 of her confirmation hearing at the Senate. A sheriff's deputy is being mourned in Brazoria County, Texas, where a gunman shot Jesus Jesse Vargas, then fled. Hours later, Houston Police Chief Noe Diaz says they found him hiding in a dumpster.
The bad guy shot our canine. Our deputies returned fire.
And he died in that dumpster, the dog being treated for injuries. The winds are calmer around Los Angeles today in the battle against wildfires that have burned down thousands of homes and buildings, at least 25 people killed. America's listening to Fox News.
Wesley Financial Group is not a law firm.
Do you find yourself stuck in a timeshare? Get the real facts about the timeshare industry and your options for cancellation. Chuck McDowell, founder of Wesley Financial Group, has put together a free information guide that reveals the secrets the timeshare industry doesn't want you to know, including the 5 ways to get rid of your timeshare. Call now and get this timeshare cancellation guide absolutely free.
Call 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288. 800-893-2288.
Hey everyone, it's Ted from Consumer Cellular, the guy in the orange sweater, and this is your wake-up call. If you're paying too much for wireless service, you don't have to keep having that nightmare. Consumer Cellular has the same fast, reliable coverage as the leading carriers for less. And for a limited time, new customers receive their 2nd month free when they sign up and use promo code SECONDFREE by January 26th. So why keep spending more than you have to? Seriously, wake up and call 1-888-FREEDOM or visit consumercellular.com.
Taxes, fees, and other third-party charges will apply. See website for additional details.
We mentioned the confirmation hearings. Here's more on the 4 who will join Attorney General nominee Pam Bondi at the Senate.
Today's schedule of confirmation hearings before Congress gets started with the session for Lee Zeldin, who has been nominated by the president-elect to lead the Environmental Protection Agency. The former New York congressman will appear before the Senate Environment and Public Works Committee. Trump's nominee for Secretary of the Treasury, Scott Bessent, is expected to take questions from members of the Senate Finance Committee. Bessent, a billionaire money manager from South Carolina, served as one of Trump's central economic advisors during the campaign. Other hearings are scheduled for Interior Department nominee Doug Burgum and Scott Turner, Trump's pick to lead housing and urban development. Tanya J. Powers, Fox News.
Days before President-elect Trump returns to the White House, 52% of people in a Fox News poll say they approve of how the transition's been going. 59% support the Trump plan to deport illegal immigrants charged with crimes, part of a vow to carry out mass deportations following a record surge of illegal border crossings. Some American families who've lost loved ones are going to lose some money, too, as the government claws back payments they shouldn't have gotten.
One U.S. Treasury official calls it the tip of the iceberg. More than $31 million reclaimed as part of a 5-month pilot program using a Social Security Administration database of death records. Congress authorizing the effort in 2021 by giving the Treasury Department access to the so-called full death master file for 3 years, from December 2023 through 2026. Treasury projects it'll recover a total of more than $215 million improperly sent to dead people. The incoming Trump administration is putting an emphasis on cutting waste, fraud, and abuse in government, but it's not known yet if they'll try to make the Treasury's temporary death file database access permanent. Lisa Brady, Fox News.
On Wall Street, the day after a massive rally, stock futures are mixed. Up for the NASDAQ, but down for the Dow. I'm Dave Anthony, and this is Fox News.
Good morning. It is 8:05 and currently 14 degrees in Utica. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. New Hartford police have arrested the suspect linked to the robbery of the Burlington Coat Factory on Consumer Square. Authorities say the incident happened on December 11th, where a man attempted to steal merchandise but abandoned the clothing when fleeing, of which he injured an employee when doing so. The employee sustained minor injuries. Police eventually identified the suspect using witness interviews and surveillance video and arrested 45-year-old Edward Hector of Rome on January 14th. Hector was charged with petty larceny, third-degree larceny, and assault on a retail worker, the latter two being felonies. Hector was held at Oneida County Jail to await a felony hearing. Family members of Robert Brooks have filed a lawsuit in federal court weeks after his death. Brooks was an inmate at Marcy Correctional Facility when he was allegedly beaten by multiple staff members last month. Brooks was taken to a hospital but died hours after being attacked. The incident was captured on body cameras, and his relatives claim state officials oversaw a prison system that brutalizes inmates. Governor Hochul is calling for the employees involved in the assault to be fired. Onondaga County Sheriff Toby Shelley is defending the deputies who handcuffed an 11-year-old girl earlier this week. The child was detained Monday because those deputies said she matched the description of a suspect they were looking for in connection with the vehicle theft. She was later released after it was determined she was not involved in that crime. Shelley called her detainment good police work and said members of the public could find themselves in the same situation during an investigation. You can watch the full video and read the story on WIBX950.com. And Syracuse head football coach Fran Brown is being honored for his efforts leading the Orange this season. Brown has received the Paul Bear Bryant Award for Newcomer Coach of the Year. Brown came to SU from the University of Georgia and took over the program following the firing of Dino Babers. Syracuse finished with a record of 10 wins and 3 losses, including a victory in the Holiday Bowl over Washington State last month. It is 8:07, 14 degrees in Utica. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. Here is your full weather forecast.
Mostly cloudy, cold out there today. Scattered snow showers possible later on this afternoon into this evening. Highs mid-20s, down around or below 20 tonight. Cloudy, cold Friday with a chance of snow showers. Afternoon highs low 30s. Rain, snow mix possible Saturday. Highs upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
It is currently partly cloudy, and let's be positive. It's partly clear, and 15 degrees at WIBX.
In sports, the two-time home game winners Comets stepped onto the ice at the Adirondack Bank Center yesterday with Atlantic Division opponent and top affiliate of the New York Rangers, the Hartford Wolfpack. They won the contest by a 7-3 score. The win becomes their third straight victory at home. The Comets are back on the ice Friday night against the Lovell Rocket at 7 p.m. Tickets are available at uticacomets.com/tickets. The Giants are parting ways with a pair of coaches. According to NFL Network, the G-Men fired defensive passing game coordinator Jerome Henderson and safeties coach Michael Trier. Both coaches joined the Giants as part of the Joe Judge's staff in 2020. The Jets continue to search for their new head coach, according to Sports Illustrated. The Green and White have requested an interview with Green Bay Packers defensive coordinator Jeff Hafley. It is likely the interview will occur later this week. A familiar face is returning to the Baltimore Ravens. Wide receiver Deontay Johnson was claimed off waivers by the Ravens Wednesday, a day after he was waived by the Houston Texans. Johnson's will not be able to officially go to the Ravens until February 10th, which is the day after the Super Bowl. The Browns are being sued by their own city. Cleveland leadership filed legislation Tuesday to prevent them from moving. City officials are invoking the model law, which was passed back in 1996 after former owner Art Modell relocated the franchise to Baltimore. The current owners are expressing interest in building a new dome stadium in Brook Park, which is about 10 miles south of Cleveland. The Chargers head coach is set to undergo a pair of offseason procedures. Los Angeles' Jim Harbaugh said he is scheduled to have a cardiac ablation this offseason, in addition to hip replacement surgery. Harbaugh, who is 61, has previously said he would not consider retiring because of health issues. And the Colts heading back overseas in the 2025 season. NFL announced Wednesday the Colts have been designated as the home team for next season's regular season game in Berlin. It will be the 5th regular season game played in Germany and the first to be played at Olympic Stadium. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone.
Am I the only one? I don't like these games being played in, and I get it, what they're trying to do in the NFL. But these games in Europe are really trap games for a lot of these teams. Yep. It really is difficult to play them.
And they complain also, actually, the field conditions are not ideal either. You know, you get an injury in Germany and whatever.
What was it, the baseball game that was played where when the... where was that?
That was the
and a fly ball, the ball would bounce like 30 feet in the air. It was just
who got injured and got knocked out, I think almost got knocked out for the year for playing in one of those.
Well, Diaz did get knocked out for the year. The Mets lost him for an entire year while playing down in Puerto Rico.
Yeah.
He was playing for the
That was different.
The
that
classic.
was different. Yeah.
How about recently?
I just don't like all these games in Europe.
How about recently? Last week it came out that them two people that interfered in the ball with Mookie Betts at Yankee Stadium.
They have been banned from Major League Baseball for life.
Yep.
I love it.
If they go to a stadium and recognize them,
they're
getting into the clink.
I believe I think they execute them right on the spot.
We've taken on
yes. This is
Sharia law.
It's kind of like a North Korea type approach to people doing things wrong. Yeah. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills is accepting new patients right now. The Falcon Clinic is the area's premier osteopathic medical clinic, and they're accepting new patients as we speak. If you're in need of a new family doctor, you're having issues with sleep, fatigue, pain, ADHD, or any issues, or you're just having back pain, or you're looking to have one of those osteopathic adjustments that are just incredible, call the Falcon Clinic today. And again, need a new family doctor? They have you covered. Dr. Shemileski, Dr. Zielinski, and other physicians all under one roof, conveniently in Washington Mills. Call them today, 315-507-4751 online. It's thefalconclinic.com. The Falcon Clinic in Washington Mills.
Imagine this. You're coming down the stairs. You miss a step, but you catch yourself. And that's when you feel it. It's your knee, and it really hurts. Now you have to make a choice. The faster you see an orthopedic specialist, the sooner you'll be on your way to recovery. Choose Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, now with a clinic open every Wednesday in New Hartford. You'll get fast access to world-class orthopedic care. We have imaging on site, and you'll be treated by Dr. Rochelle Takamoto. She's one of the most respected orthopedists in the area, and she's done more VELYS robotic-assisted surgeries than any female physician in the world. So whether it's a new injury or a long-term pain in any joint, walk into our clinic and get treated by one of the best orthopedic specialists in the area in the shortest time possible. That's Community Memorial Center for Orthopedics, with clinics weekdays in Hamilton and now every Wednesday at 83 Genesee Street in New Hartford. Visit orthoemergency.com.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me, with no commitment. Come see us, and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
Are you sick of being just a number or doing a mindless job? Become a craftsman in a trade. Become an IBEW electrician. The IBEW and the Electrician Training Alliance will give you all the tools necessary at their state-of-the-art training facility. Earn as you learn. Paid training while you get your certification. What are you waiting for? Become an IBEW Local 43 electrician. Call or go online today to learn more. Find your career at IBEW and let the Electrician Training Alliance light up your future.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you gotta hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
There's a lot of talk about EV government rebates going away this year.
But at this moment, there are still crazy government incentives on EVs, like the 2024 Kia EV6 Lite all-wheel drive.
With government incentives, lease this $51,000 vehicle for just $428 per month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
Folks, these are your tax dollars. Take advantage of the government money while it lasts.
And this is the long-range EV6 model rated for 282 miles of range.
Only during the New Year, New Ride sales event. Make that short drive to save.
So go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
VIN number R5218144. MSRP $51,400. 36 months, 30,000 mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due to inception. $0 security deposit. 8.75% sales tax and $650 acquisition fee included in payment structure. $400 disposition fee. 720 plus FICO score. Includes New York State Drive Clean rebate. EPA rating. Offer expires 2/3/2025.
It's Brian Kilmeade.
Here's the deal on J.D. Vance. 9 things that you're not going to like about him. Not even a moment to say, hey, now your ticket's formed. It's going to be a great 4 months. Let's have at it in a civil way. That would have been a normal thing to do. Is his staff missing the moment? Are they that bad? Do they think the only way to win is to create tension, make the other guys look unelectable still?
Brian Kilmeade. Weekday mornings at 9 on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
WIBX.
This is Keeler.
WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM.
Now back to the Keeler Show.
All right, coming up, we're going to talk to Rabbi Didi Wax on the ceasefire deal between Israel and Hamas. And also, Davey, I got a message in here from Mike. Mike this morning saying, let me try to bring it up here. I got to find it. Where did it go? Here it is. Mike says, I fear that if you went with double points, Davey would choose the Ravens. What do you think?
No.
No. All right.
I don't know.
I don't know. Here is, let me have, we're going to do our picks quickly here and get everybody in because it's Thursday. Let's start with Jake. Hey, Jake, good morning. I got you now. Yeah, I got you. Can you hear me, Jake?
It's Wayne.
I know we have Wayne, but where did I lose Jake? I must have. All right, Wayne, I'm going to take you first. Jake was there also, but somehow I must have disconnected him. Okay, Wayne, Texans Chiefs. What do you think?
Do you agree with double points, Wayner?
Yeah, he does.
What do you mean? Like what's the double points?
It's double points this week.
Listen, if you get this right, you get double the points during this very special and very important weekend of playoffs.
Absolutely not.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So you're in. Your
check's in the mail.
Trophy thing.
So you're into it. Okay, good. All right.
Nobody.
Yes, we'll go for $250.
All right, here we go. All right, Texans Chiefs. What do you want?
Texans and Chiefs. I'm going to go with the Chiefs.
I think
They
you
seem to pull
have
it off
to.
all the time.
Commanders Lions.
Commanders and Lions. I'm going to go with the Lions. They're strong.
Okay. Rams Eagles.
Rams and Eagles. I'm going to go out on the left. I'm going with Stafford. I'm not going with the Eagles. I'm going to go with Stafford and
Ravens Buffalo.
And I'm going with the Ravens.
Wow, you think so, huh?
I like Buffalo, but I kind of think that I kind of think you know what? It's a hard one, Bill. This is a battle of the MVPs, right?
I'm going to give you my prediction. Are you ready? I believe the Bills.
Your name.
The Bills will win by 2 touchdowns. You're
taking the Bills?
This is not the game everybody thinks it's going to be, I'm telling you.
I think Henry is going to high step all over them, but I also think that when it comes down to it, whoever it is with the quarterback that gets the most touchdowns running them in is probably going to be the team to win.
Okay. All right, we got your picks. Nice job, Wayne, and thank you for committing to double points. Thank you.
Are you getting Scott on for any of his
We will
before Friday?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Tomorrow. We'll have him on tomorrow.
Okay.
All right.
Thanks, guys.
Thank
Have
you,
a good
man.
day.
Thank you. Let's go to Jake. Hey, Jake. I already know you're into this double point thing. You want a triple.
What's this, Jeopardy?
Yeah, it is. It's the double triple point round. Yeah. Okay, Texans.
Hey, give the money to Davey.
Texans Chiefs. You're the one that brought this up, Jake. Don't you forget that.
See what I mean? What a troublemaker you are.
Mm-hmm.
Chiefs.
Okay.
I hate to say it, but yeah.
I know. Commanders Lions.
Commanders.
Okay. Rams Eagles.
Rams.
Okay. Bills Ravens.
Buffalo.
Yeah, I agree with you. All right, good stuff there, Jake. Thank you. And I'm sorry we couldn't get to you
All right,
earlier.
Never
Thank
mind
you.
Jeopardy.
All
Never
right.
mind
That's
double.
right. That is right. All right, thank you, man.
Have a good weekend, guys.
Let me do Larry quickly, and that'll be the last one we do here until we move on. Hey, Larry. Good morning. Good morning.
How you doing? So 2 things. I gave Davey my picks.
Oh, you already did. Okay.
I don't believe in the double points because you can't change the rules midstream.
Well,
That's
Megan
number one.
is saying that she actually had these rules in place in 2001. So this has been pre-existing.
Well, here's a loophole. I told Davey, here's how you win. Next year, whoever's in first has to pick first. So now that Davey's in first, I just pick whatever the guy picks second. He can't gain any points on me.
Right. Yeah, that's a smart move. Yep.
Yeah.
Wayne, Larry, you have all the smart moves. He's had a few that he's shared with me that are some pretty good ones.
Well,
All right.
the reason I know it is because I'm in a group of about 6 other people. We have a pool. There's 6 or 7 of us in it, and we pick 5 games a week.
All right.
So that's what people were doing. So now we got to try to hide our picks or.
Right.
The first place you just pick with the second place pick.
You're basically playing defense right now.
There you go.
So,
Right.
All right. Love it. Okay,
All right.
Larry. Thank you, man.
Thanks.
Have a great day. And let me get away from the football for a little bit and talk about some international affairs. From Clinton, Rabbi Diddy Walks on the line right now. Rabbi, good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing?
Good. Are you a big football fan at all? Do you care?
I wish I did because it seems like a lot of fun listening to you guys banter, but I have no clue what's going on.
Actually,
they don't either.
The big secret is we don't either. Yeah.
Well, yeah, but you guys will fake it. But my kids are really into it, and they start talking to me, and my eyes glaze over, and I get lost.
That's fine. I certainly understand. All right. I did want your take on this, what is really a very fragile deal between Israel and Hamas, which is almost being put on notice right now. It happened just a few hours ago where Israel was supposed to be voting on this, and now they're saying that Hamas is backtracking. Hamas is saying, no, we are in agreement with everything that was put in the deal. Do you think this thing's going to go through?
I don't know. I also don't know how this is even a deal and what this even means. I was listening to all of the press release or the press conference from President Biden and President-elect Trump's statements as well, and it's amazing because this seems to be a bipartisan thing, and nevertheless, I don't understand why it's good necessarily. I do understand why it's good to have a stop to the fighting, and I really would love to see that. So I get why there is room for celebration, that the hostages, some will come home, although it's very unclear how many are alive.
Right.
My position has been, and this is a personal position, but I also think it's a logical one. When it comes to issues of life and death, I think it's more important that we use brain and not just heart. We have to be inspired by our hearts to care about these things, but we have to use our brains to do the best and smartest thing. And unfortunately, that's not what happens. So when I was in Israel this past summer, so I'm going to use my heart a little bit over here, I met a boy whose name was Yishai Vogel. Yishai Vogel was sleeping in his house 12 years ago with his 2 parents and 3 of his siblings. 2 of his other siblings were out of the house that night, sleeping at a friend's house or whatever, in the town of Itamar, which I have visited. And Yishai, his terrorists came in the middle of the night that Friday night and stabbed to death his parents and siblings, including a baby. Stabbed to death. No guns, nothing. And he survived because they stepped on him, and they thought one of them thought that the other one had died. He still doesn't know exactly what happened, and then at some point he jumped out a window and managed to go to a neighbor's house. The 2 terrorists who committed that heinous murder are on the list to be released. This is going on all over Israel. This is just to give you an idea. We're not talking about people with minor infractions or people who took red lights. We're talking about when they tell you, this amount of kids are in jail.
Yeah.
Kids means anyone under 18, and sometimes they lie about their ages. So in Israel, the mood was somber. Number one, because the hostages are not home yet. We don't even know how many there are who are alive. We don't know when they're coming home. We don't know in what stages. We don't know if the deal is going to be kept up. We don't know anything.
Well, for all we know, they could be coming home in a box. Yeah.
They were expecting at least half of them. They're expecting to be dead, and to me the power dynamics has shifted. And again, I could be totally wrong because there could be stuff we don't know about. But based on what we know now, and in general as a principle, I don't believe in exchanging prisoners in this way. Not that I don't believe in it. I think it's morally wrong, incorrect, because you're letting out people who then commit murder. And this is not theoretical. Yahya Sinwar, who masterminded the October 7th attack, was let out during the Gilad Shalit deal. And I don't want to call it by that name because I'm very happy that Gilad Shalit came home. He was a soldier who was abducted about, I forgot exactly how many years ago, but almost 20 years ago. And he was then exchanged, and he was part of 1,000 prisoners for one. They always talk about proportionality, but for some reason when it comes to letting out terrorists, they're all of a sudden happy to be disproportionate. And so one Israeli soldier per 1,000, including Yahya Sinwar, who was already a convicted terrorist, and then he came out. So there's a real fear in Israel that this is not, they're going to let people out to gain trust of the... And so I believe the only way to end this, and there is tons of suffering, legitimate suffering that, legitimate, I mean there is suffering that's real on the side of the Palestinians, and that has to stop. But it can only stop when Hamas says, that's it, we're putting down our arms, and we are essentially surrendering. There's nothing else but surrender. They did not end World War II saying, well, as long as they let out some of the prisoners over the course of the next 10 years, if we do what they tell us to do. I mean, really?
Right.
The Allies fought World War II?
Well, can I just say that, first of all, you're negotiating with terrorists at this point, and that's always a very difficult approach. But I also fear that there's a reality here. After these months and months of bombing and the death and destruction that has been occurred, and please, I'm not taking the side of Hamas by any means, but after all of that, we're now going to think that the Palestinians are going to be like, all right, we're just going to put all this behind us, and we're going to go the way of peace. No, I just don't know that short of, and this is really controversial, and I'm not suggesting this, but short of eliminating all of them, which would be it would be terrible. I don't know how these Palestinians walk away and just forget about what's happened. The Israelis are not going to walk away and forget what happened. The hate will not go away, I guess is what I'm trying to say.
But I think, there's precedence for this in world history. It's not
there is. I
understand what happened. And you're right. I think you're right. But the way it changes is education and rebuilding. And the Allies did this in Germany after World War II. The destruction in Germany, the destruction in Japan. Think about the things the Allied forces did. But there was a concerted effort to rebuild. So if you're, and I know you're not one of these people, but for those people, I can't help those people who believe that Israel's trying to ethnically cleanse and commit genocide. Like, they probably believe that is the goal. But for those of us who've been to Israel and those of us who believe that that's not what Israel's trying to do, I do believe there needs to be a concerted effort, not just in Israel. It needs to be a sort of an allied group of Arab states, Gulf states that are becoming allied with Israel, including Saudi Arabia, which they say normalization is going to be inevitable. So if those states come together to create a stronger, more vibrant, more viable state in Gaza, that will change things. Because, like you said, the Israelis are not going to put this behind them, but on the other hand, they will move on because they have a functioning state. And when you have jobs, anyone who I know in Israel wants to get on with life. When you have nothing going for you, which is what Hamas thrives on. That's we all know that mold grows in when you leave things alone. So. And they love the chaos and the lack of services and the lack of order. So we need to go in there, and when I say we, the world has to go in there, and instead of reinforcing their victimhood, the world needs to go in and say, you guys can do this. You can create something. And forget about those Israelis for a moment and make yourselves a life.
The other part of this is you talk about a history, a world history that supports all of this. And the hatred Palestinians have for Jews and for Americans, by the way, because of our support for Israel. It goes back a few years as well. This is one of those.
Sometimes the Holy Land isn't so holy.
Yeah, and where I'm with Netanyahu when he says the only way you're going to be able to create peace for the Israelis is through power and through strength, and I don't know any other way based on the hatred that exists out there towards.
I'm a very proud American, although a naturalized citizen. And I believe, this is people. It's now considered controversial in the circles in which I am. But I believe a strong America is one of the most important things. And you say, well, America does all these things wrong. I think American values, free values, and values of life, liberty, etc. Are good, and even if America does do things wrong, unfortunately we live in a world where power, you have to have the one with the power, even potential power, wins. And so in Israel, I know this is again me speaking as what I know, my lived experience. I know that the vast majority of Israelis do not want to kill. Do not want to get rid of, eradicate, annihilate Palestinians. Is there problems within Israeli culture? Is there racism? Of course, there's all these different issues that exist in every culture that need to be dealt with. I'm not trying to skirt around the issue, but they don't want that. They do not learn in their textbooks that we're going to redeem the land from the dirty Palestinians. Those are words that are used in the Arab workbook. So, yes, if there's a change in the narrative, there will be peace. Peace is not the two-state solution. Is not what's going to bring about peace, because that doesn't change what's in people's hearts. We can change that. So I just feel like this deal is people are calling it a bad precedent. The precedent has happened 10 times already, and every time we release prisoners for hostages, it just sets a terrible precedent. And the craziest thing was during the first exchange of prisoners in this war itself. I remember some BBC, I think it was, maybe it was a different one, but I think it was the BBC. She asked the spokesman of Israel, well, you guys got 50 Israeli hostages for about 800 or 1,000. I don't remember the exact number. Doesn't that show that you guys care, that you guys consider Israeli life more precious than Palestinian lives? That was her question. And the guy was like, are you kidding? Like, would we rather not give any terrorists for our prisoners? Yes, sure. Yeah. But it's so embedded in people's minds, the hatred of the Israelis and the Jews. So I just hope that nothing comes out of this, but unfortunately hope is not what brings about world peace and smart things are.
Tim, I'll give you the last word here.
Rabbi, in full disclosure, I am a Hamilton College graduate, and I know you have not got a formal relationship as far as Hamilton College is concerned. What do you hear in regards to from the college, from the students' perspective in regards to it? I know there was this whole kind of Gaza thing. I mean, this thing's been going on for so long.
I will tell you that my daughter's in New York going to school right now, and they literally, it is the security this year has been so tight. To be able to get into a class, you have to pass 2 different barriers of security.
Right.
And there are long lines to get in. And it's what's happening on college campuses is pretty scary right now.
Yeah. What do you hear from Hamilton?
We know a lot of different kinds of students, and many of the students we interact with. I mean, we welcome everyone. I know students who are not very necessarily pro-Israel, but I think that the college administration has been amazing, and I'm saying this as an outsider, as you said. The college administration has been excellent in navigating that. It's a difficult thing to navigate because there is free speech. But I think that overall, there are exceptions, and we don't have time to go through, but overall, they've been very good at making sure that people can, speak their minds, but also keeping it a safe and a neutral space. We had a speaker come in a month ago, a survivor, actually, of October 7th. He was inside he was in the bomb shelter with Hersh Goldberg, Poland, and it was a pretty crazy thing, and we had some potential protesters come, but they were very, the administration has just been amazing on that front. And then we also have amazing law enforcement, and a shout out to some of the people from New York State Police and other agencies that have just been amazing at keeping everyone safe. So thank you.
Hamilton really does a tremendous job of bringing in differing opinions and getting both sides to be able to give their views. I think that is incredibly valuable. And the one thing that my daughter told us just the other day is part of the problem down there in New York City is you have activist professors who are riling up the students, and thankfully that's not happening up here, but it's pretty scary down there. Better than last year, but still scary.
No, I agree with you. Activist professors are honestly the worst, and they should be disciplined when they do things that are against the code of conduct. But again, I don't know where your daughter is, but I wish her well, and I hope she stays on the right path like her dad.
Oh my God!
Thank you. Well, let's not go too far with that. But in terms of this issue, Rabbi, we are on the same page.
That's all I know.
All right.
I don't know about the football or anything.
All right, Rabbi. As always, we appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you so much, guys. Have a great day.
Have a great day. Rabbi Diddy Walks. Lucia, stand by. I'll get to you in a second. Brian Nobles coming right up. Megan has a quick update on news coming up as well.
The fight to fix our nation and the fight for life go hand in hand, especially so when we see how abortion took center stage in the most recent election. Preborn has rescued over 300,000 babies by welcoming mothers with unplanned pregnancies and introducing them to their baby on ultrasound. Once she sees her baby and hears their heartbeat, her baby's chance at life doubles. Meet Deanna.
I'm at the doctor and they do a bedside sonogram. As I'm looking at the sonogram, the baby waves. And I looked and that man said, I said, did that thing just wave at me?
Deanna knew that life was the only choice.
12 years ago, I prayed for this little boy. And to think about if I would have taken that abortion pill. So God saved him. Not only did he save him, he saved me in a different type of way.
Your tax-deductible donation of $28 sponsors one ultrasound. Please donate today Just dial pound 250 and say the keyword baby, or go to preborn.com/BUCK. Sponsored by Preborn.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me with no commitment. Come see us and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
We've been overindulging a little more than usual over the holidays. But now, we are starting the new year off on a healthier note by taking active liver supplements from New Nordic every day. So if better health, more energy, and detoxing your body are some of your priorities this year, get Active Liver today and start the year off knowing you're giving your liver some well-deserved relief.
Active Liver is available in both tablets and as a delicious gummy. You can find Active Liver in stores at your local CVS or online at Amazon or newnordicusa.com.
Good morning. It is 8:39 and 15 degrees in Utica. WIBX 950 AM, 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer and Governor Kathy Hochul are among the top New York politicians reacting to Wednesday's Israel-Hamas ceasefire and hostage release news. Schumer spoke on the Senate floor, saying that it couldn't have happened without steadfast diplomacy and until the potency of Hamas was radically reduced. Hochul released a recorded statement noting that the release of the hostages held by Hamas has always been her top priority. The FDA is banning red dye number 3 in food, drinks, and ingested drugs. Wednesday's move comes more than 30 years after scientists found links between the dye, which is made from petroleum, and cancer and animals. Red dye number 3 is added to foods and beverages to give them an appealing cherry color. Manufacturers that use the additive are being given 2 years to remove it and reformulate their products. Red dye number 3 has been banned in California since October 2023. And a footwear company that has made shoes for every U.S. president since 1850 is displaying some of its creations in downtown Washington, D.C. The Johnston and Murphy Presidential Footwear Exhibit features 15 pairs of shoes made for presidents like Abraham Lincoln, Theodore Roosevelt, and John F. Kennedy. Shoes created for Barack Obama, Donald Trump, and Joe Biden are also part of the exhibit. The shoes will be on display daily at the Mayflower Hotel on Connecticut Avenue Northwest until January 29th. WIBX 950 AM 92.3 FM. I'm Megan Stone. Your Weather Center forecast up next.
Mostly cloudy, cold out there today. Scattered snow showers possible later on this afternoon into this evening. Highs mid-20s, down around or below 20 tonight. Cloudy, cold Friday with a chance of snow showers. Afternoon highs low 30s. Rain, snow mix possible Saturday. Highs upper 30s to near 40. I'm meteorologist Ken Boone at the Weather Channel on WIBX 950 AM and 92.3 FM.
All right, currently partly cloudy skies. We're at 15 degrees. Lucia, I'm so sorry. I know you've been waiting. I'll give you like 20 seconds just quickly because I've got Ryan coming right up. Good morning, Lucy.
Good morning. I just wanted to comment on Biden's speech.
Oh, you must have loved it.
I loved it.
Yeah.
I think everybody loved it, really.
Yeah, all right.
What an achievement for America to turn the page and to see this guy go. The farewell speech was boring, horrible, gloom and doom. My God, to watch him, you want to die.
All right.
Other than that, you liked it.
Now, they got bye-bye Biden. And where's Pelosi? What happened to her?
Well, I believe
Maybe
she was
Ryan
actually
knows.
she was
Ryan
running.
would tell us.
She was running the camera.
She's betting on stocks.
Right.
All right, Lucy.
Right.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Let me
Bye.
go to Ryan Nobles. Good luck following that, Ryan. Good luck. Good morning.
Yeah, thanks. You always set me up nicely, Bill.
I do. All
That's
right.
what I get for missing a day, I guess.
I did want to get you in here because I'm going to have to break before I go to John Decker, a colleague of yours, who will be coming up in about 8 minutes. But you've had a very busy week.
Yeah, it's been nuts. We've got confirmation hearings going on. I think there were 6 yesterday. We have another 5 or so happening today. But Trump trying to get as many of his cabinet picks in as possible as soon as he starts. And he could get Marco Rubio confirmed shortly after he's inaugurated on Monday. Some of these other ones might be a little bit tougher of a sled. You know, we still haven't heard from Tulsi Gabbard and RFK Jr., but I do think that Pete Hegseth, who 2 months ago I thought had no prayer of becoming the next Secretary of Defense, has won over these skeptical Republicans that it's going to take to win the nomination. He doesn't need a single Democratic vote. He probably won't get a single Democrat to vote for him, but he'll get at least 51 Republicans, and that'll be enough for him to be the next Secretary of Defense.
What kind of craziness are you talking about? What is wrong with you, Brian?
Yeah.
Now, listen, Davey's all upset from watching MSNBC the other day. Davey,
I know.
Go ahead, express.
I was watching you during 4 to 6 show with Nicole Wallace.
Yes.
And I thought she was kind of rude to you when you were on the answers when you were talking about
because he was such a Hegseth supporter.
Well, first of all, I love Nicole Wallace. She's a fantastic talent, and I'm lucky to be her colleague. And I just think that the situation is, and I think this is the next 4 years are going to be difficult for Democrats as they process getting beat pretty soundly in this last election. And the problem is that I understand their frustration with some of these picks that Donald Trump has made. But the point I was trying to make on MSNBC, and I can make to you now, and I stand by, is that these confirmation hearings are not for the vast American public, right? And I think that's what Nicole took issue with, and I understand where she was coming from. But the American people had their say in November. They had the opportunity to vote for the United States Senate and for President of the United States. They picked a Republican Senate, and they picked the President of the United States being Donald Trump. They are the ones that get to decide whether or not these individuals that are going to sit in these cabinet posts are qualified for the job. It's not my assessment at this point, and you can complain all you want about Pete Hegseth's lack of experience, the sexual assault allegations against him, the accusations of financial mismanagement and alcohol abuse, and I can also tell you, objectively, that there has never been a candidate for this position who has less qualifications for the job than Pete Hegseth. But I don't have a vote, and you can complain and whine and be upset about it. But I'm telling you the reality of the situation, and the reality of the situation is there are not 4 Republican senators, which is what it would take to sink his nomination, who have the guts right now to stand up to Donald Trump after how successful he was in this last election cycle and say, I'm willing to break with the other 56 of my colleagues or 46 of my colleagues who are going to vote yes for this guy and say that he's not going to be the next Secretary of Defense because the political cost would be enormous. And the one that everyone's looking at is Joni Ernst of Iowa, who's up for re-election in 2026 and would absolutely be primaried.
No doubt about it.
She voted against Pete Hegseth. So I'm not saying that's right or wrong. I'm telling you that that's the reality of the situation, and that's my responsibility as a reporter. So, but Davey, thank you for your support.
You're welcome, buddy.
He was really upset. I'm just telling you. But the reality is you are absolutely correct. The election is over, and it'll take Republicans to walk away, but that's no easy task in this current scenario. If you don't care about being reelected, then I guess it's easy. It'll be easy for you, but I don't see that. And
the makeup of this Senate right now, Bill, is you had a handful of Republicans in the last Senate, Mitt Romney and others, who were kind of Trump-proof. Like it didn't matter how much Trump hammered them, they were going to be able to hold on to their seats. There are fewer and fewer of them around. I mean, in fact, really the only senator I can think of right now who might be Trump-proof is Lisa Murkowski in Alaska, who has won re-election there even on a write-in campaign, which no one ever thought was possible. But even Susan Collins, who has demonstrated to be a moderate over the course of her career, she's up for re-election in 2026. If she bucks Donald Trump right now, and she said she's already running for re-election, she will absolutely get a primary challenge in Maine, and she would absolutely lose that primary challenge if Trump is not supporting her. So it's just going to be a very difficult sled for any Republican to stand up to Donald Trump based on what happened in November. We're in a different reality than we were even 6 months ago.
Would you agree with this, that right now, especially the Republican Party, where it is today, there's more power to the regular person, to the public, than ever before. So, and what I mean by that is you can have all the celebrities you want. Yep. You can have all the Republicans, the Mitt Romneys you want, who are going to come out and say no to Donald Trump. The public is with him wholeheartedly. I'm not sure we've seen.
Well, I wouldn't go that far. I mean, I definitely think that he has about half of the country that's going to support him, in this endeavor. I only think it's probably about 35 to 40% of the country that's with him, no matter what happens.
Right.
I do think that we've talked about this a lot. What Donald Trump successfully did was convince that a remaining 20% to give him another shot, which mainly was based on the fact that they were so unhappy with the Biden administration. So there's still a lot of fungible area there where, he still has 50% of the country.
I understand.
That outright hates him.
However, my point is, if Trump decides you're going to be primaried, you're going to get primaried, and you're not going to survive it.
Within the Republican Party, where these primaries are won and lost, within the base, and that's that 30% we often talk about, Trump is invincible. He is running the show, and if you do not recognize that he's running the show, you will suffer those political consequences. Now, there's a lot to be said about what the next 4 years are going to look like, because Donald Trump's going to own everything. I was walking in this morning, and they're setting up the inaugural stuff, and they got all the fencing up and on all the signage and everything. And I remembered when George W. Bush won back in 2004 and won more than 50% of the vote, had a decisive electoral college win, and I remember thinking, boy, this is opening up an era of dominant Republican politics for the foreseeable future.
Yeah.
And within 2 years, that entire popularity had collapsed under the weight of the ongoing wars in Iraq and Afghanistan, and then the economy collapsing. Donald Trump has got the keys to this now. He owns the Republican House and Senate. He owns the White House. You could even argue that he has control of the Supreme Court, or at least has a friendly Supreme Court.
Yeah.
There are going to be no excuses for him not to succeed over these next 4 years. He can't blame anybody else. And I do think that while he does have very passionate and loyal, undying support among 30% of the public, the other 70% still need to be convinced. And that's not going to be an easy task here with all the challenges the country faces.
One final thing before we let you go. Am I correct in saying, I'm pretty sure I read this, that the Trump team has hired personal security for Inauguration Day?
I don't know that specifically, but it would.
I
not
read that this
surprise
morning.
me.
Yeah.
I could just tell you that the security in Washington, D.C. right now is off the charts. There is fencing everywhere. There is law enforcement everywhere. There are New York NYPD police officers down here. The inauguration is going to be, and I'm not looking forward to it, not having anything to do with the politics of it, but just because my assignment is to be outside on the east front of the Capitol, and it is going to be brutally cold.
It is,
I think a low of 11 degrees, a high of like 20 degrees. It's going to be just a very uncomfortable experience. But this is Donald Trump's opportunity to bring another big crowd back into Washington, this time for positive reasons. So we'll see how that all plays out.
All right, Ryan, we appreciate it. Thank you for fitting us in here today. We do appreciate it
Yeah,
greatly.
I'm sorry I missed you guys yesterday. Always great to talk to you.
All right, thanks so much. Ryan Nobles, thank you, from NBC. Quick break. We'll come right back and wrap it up. John Decker coming up as well.
You want to recycle, but you're not sure what's recyclable, what goes in your weekly recycling bin, or what goes in the trash. Wheelock Disposal Service, your recycling experts, wants to give you some helpful tips in determining what waste goes where. Some plastic containers can go in your weekly recycling bin, like milk, water, soda, detergent, and condiment bottles. Don't put plastic cups, plates, utensils, snack bags, straws, or plastic wrappers in your recycling bin. They are not acceptable. For more information, go to wheelockdisposal.com, your recycling experts.
It's a winter wonderland of deals at Steve Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer. Drive in to unbeatable offers on vehicles built to handle snow and ice. Own the 2025 Trax RS with the Driver's Confidence Package for just $319 a month. Or tackle winter with the 2024 Silverado Crew Cab LT 4-wheel drive. Lease for just $425 a month. Hurry, these deals won't last. Offers end January 31st. Customers must qualify with top-tier credit through GM Financial. Lease terms are 3 years, 10,000 miles per year. Mileage penalty of 25 cents per mile over 30,000 miles. Lessee must have a current Chevy lease in the household. Customer must qualify and sign up for the new GM card. All taxes, fees, $2,000 down, and first payment due at delivery. Track stock number 25183. Silverado stock number 24621. See salesperson for details. Find your perfect winter ride today at Steep Pawnee Chevrolet in Herkimer, where it's always easy to do business. Together, let's drive.
Hey, if you have ugly yellow toe fungus, you got to hear about the secret 2-minute trick that I found for my husband. It works from both the inside and the outside. Thousands of people are using it to get rid of their toe fungus. You can check it out at crystalflesh.com. Jake started off with a small spot on his big toe, and then it spread and got really bad. His toes were nasty. It was so embarrassing. He was afraid to take his socks off. He hid his yellow and crumbly toes from everyone. He tried everything to get rid of it. Nothing helped. And then we found crystalflesh.com. It was the only thing that worked. In just a few weeks, his toes looked amazing. He's now walking around barefoot again. You guys need to try this. I'm telling you, this stuff is different. It's not sold in stores, but go check it out at crystalflesh.com. They'll even let you try it risk-free, so you have nothing to lose. But whatever you do, don't let it get worse. You don't have to live with this anymore. Go check it out now. Just click over to crystalflesh.com.
Hello, everyone in Central New York. This is Dave Letterman, your old TV pal. Remember me? I'm supposed to say something witty and funny here about Bill Keeler, but I've got nothing. Ever see a picture of this guy? That's a joke in itself. Anyhow, here's Keeler on WIBX.
All right, portions of the program brought to you by Steve Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive, Yorkville. Ricky Z says come in and take advantage of 0.9% APR financing. Save on a new lease for CX-30s and 5s and 50s, CX-70s and CX-90s. Let's make your deal on a new Mazda from the dealership that's achieved first place nationally at customer satisfaction. Steve Pawnee Mazda Commercial Drive in Yorkville. All right, let me go to John Decker, Chief White House Correspondent with Great TV. John, got about 4 minutes. Good morning.
Hey, good morning to you, Bill. Was that real, that Letterman promo for your show?
John, you know me. Everything.
That's why he's asking the question.
Everything is real.
I love it. Very good.
All right, good stuff. That's always good stuff. That's right. All right, what are we thinking with all of the confirmations that are going forward? I mean, it does seem there are a couple of tricky ones still out there.
Well, I think Tulsi Gabbard's the tricky one. It seems to me like Pete Hegseth, his confirmation hearing took place Monday. Yes, he got tough questions, but I think ultimately he's going to get through. The Republicans are, by and large, going to stick together. Even if you lose one, even if you lose two, that's enough to put him over the top to be confirmed as the next defense secretary. But Tulsi Gabbard, she's the one that I think that may have some difficulty in terms of her confirmation to be the director of national intelligence.
I have a listener here, Greeley, saying Trump has deep in the 90s support from the Republican base. A number of other Republicans drool over this. And if you oppose his nominee, do it. And it is not this could be very bad news for you as a Republican. Your thoughts on that, John?
Yeah. Well, I think that listener that wrote in is right. You know, the biggest fear that any lawmaker has who serves in Washington is being primaried. And if you go up against Donald Trump, particularly on one of his nominees, if you're a Republican senator, you risk being primaried. I think that's one of the reasons, just one of the reasons why Joni Ernst Monday night declared that she would support Pete Hegseth as the next defense secretary.
Last night, yesterday afternoon, actually, the president in a press conference talking about Israel and Hamas, someone, female reporter asked, who takes credit for this? Is it you or Donald Trump? He stops, he turns around, he said, is that a joke? Were you there to see that, and your take on it?
My take on it is that's his go-to. That's always been Joe Biden's go-to. When he doesn't like a question, he says, are you serious or is that a joke? And he's done that with me. And you know what my reply is, Bill, when he's done that with me? I say, yes, I am serious. And you ask the question again. That person did not do that. That was a good question. That was a relevant question. And he didn't answer the question.
John, as always, we appreciate your insight. It's a big week coming up. Let's do it again next week. Thank you so much. All right.
Appreciate it.
John Decker with Gray TV. I want to tell you also brought to you by today's program, GPO Federal Credit Union. Start your 2025 off debt-free with GPO. Tim Reed, thank you. Great job this week.
Thank you very much.
We're back tomorrow.
Yep.
Standard's philosophy of the whole home approach is to diagnose the root cause of why you're uncomfortable and provide a customized solution that's permanent.
We want to take a look at the whole house, finding the right solution for you, and bringing in a whole team of people who are going to help identify rebates and programs. And those are not just for low-income homeowners. These programs are available for anybody that's looking to upgrade their system now.
Learn more at standardco.com. Call Standard today at 800-738-1424.
Feeling the winter blues? Warm up with us at Fit Body Boot Camp. Hey, it's Lisa, and I'm here to tell you that 2025 is the year to step into the best version of you. But what does that mean? That means feeling stronger, having more energy, and building more confidence. My incredible team and I will be with you every step of the way. And guess what? You can come in for free. That's right, 3 free on me with no commitment. Come see us and let's make this your best year yet at Fit Body Boot Camp in Whitesboro and Clinton.
In 2025, there's a lot of uncertainty about EV government regulation. However, there are still huge incentives on EVs and plug-in hybrids right now.
Like the 2025 Kia Sportage plug-in hybrid all-wheel drive.
With government incentives, lease this $41,000 vehicle for just $398 per month for 36 months.
And that's with zero down, zero due at inception, even sales tax included.
Plug it in at night and get 35 miles on electric.
Gas hybrid engine gets 430 miles on a tank of gas.
It's your tax dollar. Take advantage of the government money while it lasts.
Only during the New Year New Ride sales event.
Make that short drive to save.
So go cookie for Kia at Destination Kia of Utica. Puppies and babies not included.
SDK number 25T0575. MSRP $41,240. 36 months, 30,000-mile lease. 20 cents per mile over. $0 due to inception. $0 security deposit.
From the Stanley Theater Studios, WIBX Utica, Rome. W295EI. WIBX 950 and 92.3 FM. A Town Square Media Station.
The war is not over yet. I'm Dave Anthony, Fox News.
Overnight, Israeli airstrikes resumed against Gaza, killing dozens of Palestinians.
As Israel's cabinet delays today's planned vote on a ceasefire agreement claiming Hamas is reneging on terms.
But you have the Americans, you have the Qataris, and you have Hamas saying there is a ceasefire in place.
Fox's Trey Yingst also reports from Tel Aviv.
Hamas is claiming victory. We saw images last night from inside the Gaza Strip of Hamas gunmen freely going around and celebrating what they are calling an achievement, promising to conduct yet another October 7th attack.
That deal would free hostages Hamas kidnapped in the 2023 terror attack that triggered the war in Gaza. A Trump envoy and the Trump threat of all hell breaking out if there's no ceasefire in place when he takes office are getting some credit for the agreement, though President Biden says he led the way.
The elements of which I laid out in great detail in May.
And in his farewell address last night from the Oval Office, the president warned a few wealthy people are getting too much power. And these are also threats to our democracy.
Americans are being buried under an avalanche of misinformation and disinformation, enabling the abuse of power. The free press is crumbling. Editors are disappearing. Social media is giving up on fact-checking.
It'll be day 2 of Pam Bondi's confirmation hearing this morning. She's the Attorney General nominee, but won't be there. Witnesses will testify for and against her. 4 other Trump nominees will be at the Senate to face questions today. It's not as windy in the Los Angeles area in the battle against a wildfire disaster. Fox's Caroline Elliott reports from Pacific Palisades.
First responders making sure these fires do not spread. Now, the latest numbers that we have is the Palisades fire is at about 21% containment, and the Eaton fire is at about 45% containment. So we do know that firefighters are hoping to make some more progress on this today with less wind.